What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know across the internet and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas, United States time, for all the folks that are listening worldwide, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. Ghost.report. All right? Ghost.report is the official website, and I almost forgot. It's episode number 623. My apologies. Episode number 623 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, spread the show link around like wildfire. Ghost.report. That's all you got to type in your browser. Add that to your bookmarks. Add that to your favorites, baby. All right? Ghost.report. All right, remember, we independent now. You understand? We ain't all on any kind of social media oligarch networks. We depend on you, so spread that show link around like goddamn wildfire, right? And, by the way, folks, if you have not done so, please follow me on my only social media representation on the internet today, and that's on Gab, folks, all right? If you don't have yourself a free Gab account, well, go ahead and get yourself one, and then go ahead and follow me under the name Politics Ghost, all right? All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab. And I want to say what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. How's everybody doing? What's going on to the inner circle? I see you guys too, man. I hope you all had a great weekend. And for you folks that are wondering how you could be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, well, then listen to the following. All you've got to do is go to my Gab account right now, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content. Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name. And once you do, I will private message you back with a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. Now, I hope you all had a very good weekend, folks. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had a little bit of a hellish weekend, and the reason is because, you know, these damn panic attacks started coming back, and I've done some more research on why panic attacks really are at the foundation of anyone's problems when it comes to having these damn things. Now, what it comes down to is, obviously, it is a nerve that no one wants to talk about, and I'm going to talk about this because it's happening to me, and I hope that maybe something that I say here in the beginning, before we get to the cryptocurrency and stock coverage of the broadcast, maybe it can help relate to you. Now, what I found is that if you have acid reflux or a couple other kind of digestive situations, hiatal hernia, some other digestion situations that you could potentially have damaged, or in my case, through copious amounts of consumption of alcohol, you may have damaged your vagus nerve. That's vagus nerve. I believe that's V-E-G-U-S, vagus nerves. Now, haven't you ever wondered why you go to Las Vegas to unwind? Because you have to, you know, take the edge off your nerves. And the vagus nerve, in the Latin context, because it is Latin, it means the wandering nerve. And what it does, it really starts at the base of your brainstem. And this nerve goes all the way down into your esophagus, going into your digestive tract. And what it does, it actually helps regulate, in a capacity, your digestive tract, your esophagus, your heart, believe it or not, blood pressure. It has a lot of integral things that it kind of regulates, so to speak. And thank you, the God of Rage, for putting up the vagus nerve, what it is. Now, I have come to the conclusion that the majority of panic attacks are directly in response to this vagus nerve. And you don't necessarily have to damage it just because you drink a lot. You could potentially just be a little bit overweight. You could have digestive problems. You could have hiatal hernia. There could be a lot of reasons why your vagus nerve is being disrupted to some extent. Now, when your vagus nerve is disrupted, what happens is that your vagus nerve goes into a fight or flight type of a mindset. It sends a rapid response to your brain so that your brain can kind of respond in a fight or flight manner. Now, typically what happens is when you have acid reflux or hiatal hernia or any of these other type of, please excuse Templeton, he's out there throwing bones and whatnot. When you have these types of gastric type of situations, what you need to realize is that it's kind of messing with this nerve, because this nerve goes, once again, to your esophagus, from your throat to the base stem, all the way down to your digestive system. And this is what's triggering the panic attacks, because what happens when your vagus nerve is triggered and the fight or flight instincts start taking over your body, the vagus nerve instantaneously heightens your heart rate while decreasing your blood pressure. And what you'll find is that you'll have people that have this situation that go as far as to not only kind of feeling what they feel is they have a heart attack. Some people feel like they can't breathe. Some people go as far as fainting. They faint. And it's such a serious situation when you faint. You go right to the hospital, and many times the hospital gives them all kinds of tests. They find nothing, and they tell them that, you got anxiety. Here's a pill. You got some anxiety. Go figure it out on your own. Throwing psychotropic drugs at this particular scenario is not going to help what the root cause is. And I've found out that the root cause of my panic attacks is this vagus nerve. Now, unfortunately, what a neurologist will tell you, because I've read a lot of forum posts in which people have had this problem for many years, many of the doctors, the neurologists will tell you, look, there's really nothing we can do for you. It'll either go away on its own, or if it becomes a major problem, believe it or not, which I don't advise anybody to do, they're going to attach some kind of electrode to your actual vagus nerve and attach like an electrical device to your chest. Because really what it is, folks, it's a misfiring of the nerves. You know, it's all electrical. Remember, your energy, that's what you are. Every time you move, all your kinetic movements, all your thoughts, it's all energy. And because there's something disrupted within this vagus nerve, which is a very important nerve in your body that nobody talks about, and of course they don't want you to talk about it because they want to continue to pushing these damn psychotropic drugs on you. And instead, what you need to realize is that this vagus nerve is something that you can keep healthy. And how do you keep healthy? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. I don't want to describe what ways to do it. I'm just trying to tell each and every one of you that I have found this as the root cause of the panic attacks. And I know that, a lot of this has to do with my drinking, and that's how you can damage the vagus nerve, not to mention I've got acid reflux and, so on and so forth. And I've known this, and once you understand this, once you understand that this vagus nerve, of course, if you're fainting, you should really go see something and make sure that there's nothing wrong with your heart. There's nothing wrong with anything that could potentially be vital. But for most parts, folks, when people faint or they have a very, very panic attack episode that puts them unconscious, it's basically this vagus nerve that is disrupting your whole sequence of what they call the parasympathetic aspect of your nervous system. And that means that, it's a nerve system that runs without you knowing it. Like, for instance, you know how you breathe. Even when you go to sleep, your brain is already pre-programmed to breathe. It's in this vagus nerve that operates those types of situations within the body. And anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is to do some research on the vagus nerve. Once again, I want to spell it for you. It is V-A-G-U-S, vagus nerve. And take a look at what it takes to stimulate that vagus nerve so that ailments that you think are mental are probably not mental. It's nerves. Remember, we're putting a lot of bad things into our body, folks. And look, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm weak. I drink alcohol. I mean, I've drank copious amounts of it. And let's describe why I drank alcohol. I drank alcohol because I was stressed, because I was living as a capitalist in the Obama administration. And folks, if y'all remember the Obama administration, 50% of America was collecting an entitlement. I remember going to the grocery store during the Obama administration time and feeling like a goddamn idiot, feeling like I was the only moron paying for his own food. Everybody was pulling out the EBT card, the Lone Star card, etc. And not to mention, folks, money was worth nothing back then because, of course, the Federal Reserve kept printing out money. You've got Obama and his administration that was tacking on all kinds of deficits to the national debt. The whole 9 yards. It was difficult to be a capitalist in 2008 to 2016. But I did it, and I persevered, and I beat Obama 1 and Obama 2, but by God, it took a lot of stress. It took a lot of sleepless nights. It took a lot of everything, man. It was stressful. And what I found out, folks, especially you folks that are always under stress, is that if you're under stress in the present time, and then it goes away, that stress that you put on your body doesn't go away. What I've read, folks, is that every time that you're in a stressful situation or a stressful episode in your life, it doesn't go away. It compounds. It compacts itself. So every stressful situation that you're in life that has put some actual physical stress, which is the adrenaline gland that is above your kidneys that produces what they call cortisol. And what's unfortunate about your adrenaline glands, once they turn on, they don't know how to turn off. And you always hear about folks that have major stress, they gain weight. They gain weight because cortisol, what it does, once it creates itself, it starts basically planting itself on the belly and the torso area. That's why you have a lot of people you see walking around with big beer guts and big torso, and the rest of their body is still proportionate. It's because they have been dealing with a lot of stress, and it's all compacting into cortisol, and that is not healthy. Now, look, I'm not trying to be some kind of vegan faggot here, but I'm trying to let everybody know when you come to a point in time when your body is saying, hey, bro, we can't do this anymore. I mean, what you need to do is figure out ways so that you can help yourself before you are forced to be submitted to this sadistic medical industry that we have in the United States today. And that's why I'm trying to encourage everybody out there, if you feel your body talking to you, figure out what to do to remedy that before you have no choice but to be submitted to this sadistic, pathetic, anti-human medical industry that does nothing to aid anybody, but all it does is it just creates new chemicals so that you can put down your throat or they can pump in your body. And those chemicals cause negative reactions, which you need more chemicals to counteract those side effects. It's ridiculous. All right? There is enough natural elements on this earth that can heal your body. How come we're seeing so much cancer in this country? I'll tell you why. Because they're forcefully diagnosing cancer. Even the men that created the PSA test, which is meant to screen for prostate cancer, and the person that created the mammogram, they said they would have never have invented it had they known that it was going to allow practitioners to diagnose cancers in the mass quantity that it has today. I mean, these are the guys that created the testing for cancer. And look, what I'm telling you is, folks, is that you are in control of your health. And don't get me wrong, your body is a resilient vessel. It doesn't mean that you don't want to drink, you don't want to have a smoke, you don't want to do things. It's perfectly normal. You got to let off some steam. You got to calm your nerves, since we're just talking about the vagus nerve. But I'm just trying to tell you, you have to figure out a remedy on your own. Don't be submitted to the damn medical industry, because, you know, we're getting very, very close to a state-run medical industry in this country. And if you want to take a look at a state-run medical industry and what could happen to you, you want to know what's going to happen to you? Take a look at the UK. Take a look at that little baby Alfie. And I keep bringing up Alfie because this is what happens to people when they put themselves in a state-run hospital. Alfie, for all those folks that don't remember, was a little baby that had some ailments that, for whatever reason, the state-run hospitals of the UK couldn't figure out or couldn't remedy or whatever. And you had people from all over the world. You had hospitals from all over the world saying, look, bring us Alfie. We'll do some things on him. We've got some studies that say that we can reverse this. You had the Italians opening up their medical industry saying, bring Alfie to us. Don't worry. It's not going to cost the state anything. It's not going to cost anybody anything. But you know what the state-run health facilities of the UK said? They said no. They said no, and they purposely allowed this baby to die. And you see, that's what the end goal of any state-run facility. Why do you think that once Obamacare came into power, we started seeing this fucking uptick in cancer diagnosis, in the dispensing of chemotherapy on a consistent basis? It's not a fucking coincidence, folks. It's not a coincidence. I mean, good God, don't you understand that doctors take a kickback from chemotherapy? I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know whoever diagnoses you with cancer and sells your insurance company the chemotherapy, they get a kickback from that crap. I'm telling you, folks, you got to really listen to me when I tell you that you are in control of your own health, man. And I'm not trying to tell you to be a straight-edge vegan idiot. What I'm trying to say is that your body is a resilient vessel. You've got to give it the biological recipes, the biological combinations necessary so that the body can heal itself. Because the body can heal itself, folks. The body can heal itself. You just have to give it the proper nourishment, because that's the focus. That is the prime reason why we are sick. We are malnourished. We are bombarded with processed food. We are bombarded, you know, all the times that you go to these fast food joints, that's all a bunch of processed chemical-induced crap. That's all a bunch of processed chemical-induced crap. There are some goddamn fast food joints that pride themselves that their food is not even real food. It's all a bunch of chemical preservatives and all this crap. And what I keep telling the people that are in the True Capitalist Radio chat room and in the inner circle, how is it? How are you going to remedy something that's wrong with your body that is biological? Because you realize, folks, you are a biological vessel. You're biological. You're biological. Don't get me wrong, your energy as well, but the meat bag that you are, the material that you are, it's biological. How are you going to add a man-made chemical to fix a biological problem? You can't. You can't, even in the fucking chemistry and biology arenas. If you combine a chemical to a biological living organism, that living organism is a new organism. Do you understand? I mean, you have to aid things that are wrong with your biological vessel with a biological solution. So look, I'm not trying to tell you people what to do. Remember, this is America. You can do whatever the hell you want while we still have that freedom. But I'm just trying to tell you guys that, you know, it's okay to drink, it's okay to smoke, it's okay to do all these things. But by God, your body needs nourishment so that it can survive. it can survive. And that's, I hate to say it, fruits, vegetables, the appropriate fats, beef. I'm not against taking beef, okay? You need beef. But you need to take the appropriate proportions, and you need to give your body enough nutrients so that it can use. Your body is a smart biological system. It can heal itself. You just have to give it the nourishment, the vitamins, and the minerals necessary to do it. And look, I'm not trying to be Mr. Vegan faggot here once again, but I just want people out there to realize if your body's calling for you to do something, then listen to it and take one step towards your body to making it better. And believe me, your body will thank you for it. Your body will thank you for it. And that's what I feel like my body's doing to me right now. Even though it's giving me panic attacks and the vagus nerves and all this other shit, it's only telling me that, Ghost, you've been dealing with stress for too goddamn long. You've got to figure this out on your own. You've got to stop being such an angry fucking person, and you got to stop being such a goddamn... Because all it's going to do is put you in the fucking grave. And moreover, you've got to nourish the body, which I have. I'm telling you, folks, every time I make a salad, and I make a pretty good salad, I want to be honest with you, man. I make a salad that's just a pure fucking vitamin power punch. I even make my own salad dressing, all right? That is, made out of grapeseed oil, and it's beautiful. It's great. But every time I make that salad, it's like my insides, the internal parts of my body are like yearning for it. I could feel the internal part of my body saying, Ghost, where has this shit been for the past several years? We need this. I mean, I can literally feel the internal organs of my body calling for this shit. So anyway, once again, the vagus nerve is what I have found that has pretty much... been giving me the panic attacks. And because I have found that, I'm literally going to remember that, and then when I have a panic attack, remember, the vagus nerve regulates your blood pressure and your heart rhythm. So when it misfires because your vagus nerve is damaged, this is what causes you to have a panic attack, because the misfiring causes a fight or flight type of a reflex in your brain. And you don't know why you're having that fight or flight type of feeling, and then your body, as a result of that fight or flight response, will do one of two things. It'll increase the heart rate, it'll lower the blood pressure, and it'll increase the adrenaline. All that is a recipe for a panic attack, and it'll make you feel like you're going to die. It'll make you feel like you're going to die. And why would the body do that? The body does that as a natural response to danger. Let's say that you were being chased by a goddamn lion. Well, it would help that you get a boost of adrenaline. It would help that your blood pressure goes down, because your blood pressure is going to be fucking high. It will help that your heart is pumping a little faster so that you can get the proper blood to the legs, to the areas in which you're going to be using to run from that lion, and you're going to be in an adrenaline situation. This is what all a panic attack is. And instead of going and getting a goddamn psychotropic drug, which is all they're going to do to you if you go out there and ask about it, here's a psychotropic drug, boy. Just sit there and put that in your pie hole and shut your mouth. It's not going to do anything. As a matter of fact, that psychotropic drug is reprogramming your brains, boy. It's reprogramming your brain in a chemical-induced reprogramming. It's making your brain an unbiological product. That's why every time you see somebody who's ever been on psychotropic drugs, that they're completely different once they have taken them. And even when they get off of them, they're a completely different person, because whatever that chemical was that they put in these people's brains has redesigned their brains. Anyway, look, I'm getting a little bit too overboard on some of this stuff, but all I'm trying to say is if your body's telling you something, don't ignore it. And I'm telling you, if it's telling you something, then take a step towards trying to remedy or trying to put something in your hole vitamin, mineral, and herb-wise to try to put in your hole so that you can aid whatever it is that's in your body. I'm just saying, folks. I'm just trying to plant seeds for you folks out there. As a matter of fact, seeds. We don't eat seeds anymore, right? We don't eat seeds. Did you know that? Look, I don't mean to be going into this. Maybe I shouldn't be going into this, but do you know that seeds have a certain nutrient that could be potentially a cure for cancer? I mean, did y'all know this? I think it was System of a Down who, I think it was in the song Toxicity, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all remember that song? Toxicity? Toxicity in my city. In that song, he says, eating seeds is a pastime activity. This guy's not stupid. And it's in the song Toxicity. Now, why would they be talking about the song Toxicity? Because this idiot from, or I shouldn't say idiot, but these guys from the System of a Down know what's going on around here. Now, why am I talking about seeds? Well, let me just, look, I don't want to get too far into this. I don't want to get into a big discussion about this, but just look up a guy by the name of Jason Vale. That's V-A-L-E. This was a guy who was dying of cancer, who had cancer. He had already had cancer at 18 years old. And he went through the whole cutting out the cancer, and he went through the chemotherapy. And then and look, folks, you can look it up in the Medical Journal of Oncology. 97% of chemotherapy is a failure. All right, it's a failure. So he gets the chemotherapy. Within like 6 months to a year, the whole guy, supposedly cancer's all over his body, and there's nothing they can do about it. He's got 6 months to live. Then this guy finds out about an old remedy, and as a matter of fact, it's a documentary by a guy by the name of G. Edward Griffin, who has done a lot of documentaries, by the way. He was the guy who talked about the New World Order and the Federal Reserve before it was even cool. This guy was putting out freaking documentaries about the Federal Reserve and fractional reserve banking and the New World Order back in the 60s, okay? Well, he made a documentary about a vitamin called B17. B17, in which, and that's the wrong Jason Vale, God of Rage. That's this guy I'm talking about. Let me get to this guy, okay? He heard about B17. Where do you find B17? You find it in seeds, specifically the apricot or the peach seed or the apple seed. And what is supposedly, and this has been done by many people who have cured themselves of their own cancers, they crack open the inside of these seeds and eat the inside of those seeds. Now, how do we know this? Well, first of all, Jason Vale cured himself of his cancer that was supposed to kill him 6 months because it metastasized all over his body. He began to eat these apricot seeds, and it cured him. So he figured, wow, it cured me. Why aren't more people doing this? Why aren't more people learning about this? So he attempts to utilize his influence because this guy cured himself. Remember, the doctors he had already went through the chemo and everything. They gave him 6 months to live, 3 months, whatever the hell it was. He ate these apricot seeds, and before you know it, he cures his cancer. Then he wants to try to bring this to the world by selling the actual seeds themselves to people. Now, guess what that got old Jason Vale? It got him sent to prison! It got him sent to prison! Why would they send somebody to prison for selling fucking seeds? Because there's no patent that can be put on the apricot seed. There's no patent that can be put on B17. You understand? There's a patent on chemotherapy. There's a patent on radiation. There's a patent on all these medications that are supposed to be a remedy for cancer. Do you understand? And why do we know that B17 is worth the shit? Because, folks, there is a society in northern Pakistan called the Hunza tribe. That's Hunza, if I'm not mistaken. Hunza. Now, the Hunza tribe, believe it or not, even in Afghanistan, bumfuck Pakistan, they're from northern Pakistan. Even in bumfuck northern Pakistan, these people live to be 100, 105, 110, being exposed to the elements, being a primitive society. Why? Because they worship the apricot seed. They think the apricot seed is the equivalent of money. And they eat the apricot seed, they trade the apricot seed, and they have no cancer. There is no history of cancer in the Hunza people. The only time that the Hunza people got cancer is when they left the Hunza tribe and went in the international community and started consuming foods that you find in your traditional Western civilization. That's when they started getting cancers. So, listen, I'm just simply telling you folks that you are a biological vessel and you can prevent a lot of the things that are supposed to be afflicted to you statistically. You just got to be smart about it and give your body the nutrients and the nourishment necessary so that you can continue on. Look, that doesn't mean we're all going to live to be 100. That doesn't mean that we're all going to live and have a strong body and sound mind until we're 100 years old. But by God, I mean, how about 85 good, strong years? How about 90 good, strong years? That's all we want. That's all anybody wants. Anyway, look into that stuff. Look, I'm not even kidding me. Jason Vale was in prison, and guess what? He started getting cancer back when he was in prison. And when he got out of prison, started eating the apricot seed again, and guess what? In remission. The apricot seed is what, the B17, is what kills the cancer. It cannot grow. The cancer cannot grow. And if there was a bunch of bullshit, then why don't you look it up for yourself if B17 is even legal in the United States? You know? I'm just saying, man. I don't mean to be doing any red pilling when it comes to, the medical industry, but let's just be honest, man. Let's just be honest. I want to save some of you people. We need good people. We need good people. There's too many evil fucks on this planet. We need good people. Anyway, folks, let me move on. I'm sorry to get off on that tirade, but I just want to let everybody know, man, that, don't ignore anything that could be afflicting you in a health situation, man. I mean, just, you can make yourself better. There is no, I'm at the point of no return, unless, unfortunately, you're at a very, very latent stage of cancer. But even then, I've read that, I don't know, B17. I'm just telling you, I don't know, man. What else do you have to lose at that point, right? Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and go into the cryptocurrency markets. All right, we're seeing a contraction here today. Why is this? Because the dollar continues to rise, and of course it's going to rise considering that you have the Federal Reserve last week increasing interest rates to, 2 to 2.25%. 2 to 2.25%, for Christ's sake. So, of course, we're going to see an increase in the dollar, and like we've always said, an increase in the U.S. dollar means a decrease in the crypto markets. Now, since we're seeing an increase in the value of the U.S. dollar, what is it that's going to increase the cryptocurrency markets? News, baby. News, news, news. That's why you got to pay attention now, unfortunately, to the mainstream business media, because that's how I was able to call that fucking call on XRP, Ripple. Remember that? I'm hoping some of you got a little bit of that. But you got to pay attention to the news, for Christ's sake, all right? Anyway, let me go ahead and get to the market capitalization of this entire market. Like I said, we're going through a little bit of a contraction right now. Market capitalization is $222 billion market cap for the entire cryptocurrency market. Let's go ahead and get into the cryptocurrency coverage. Now, once again, while I'm paying attention to the mainstream business media, while I'm paying attention to this, I am noticing that many within the media, the mainstream business media, are all of a sudden calling for some kind of a cryptocurrency bullish reversal. a cryptocurrency bullish reversal. I've seen this on Seeking Alpha. I've seen this on CNBC. I mean, they're calling for a reversal. Now, how and why they're calling for this? Because there are no fundamentals to this market. I mean, you have to realize there are no fundamentals to this goddamn market. So either they're pulling this shit out of their ass, or they're making a guesstimation, or I don't know what the hell they're doing. All right, but you know, they do induce the investor to buy. I mean, let's not be naive. They do induce the investor to buy. Hence why I called that Ripple call a couple of weeks ago when Ripple went from 33 cents all the way to 60-something cents. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the cryptocurrency markets here. Bitcoin, BTC, current market capitalization for Bitcoin is $114 billion market capitalization. All right. The circulating supply is 17.2. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Somebody in here, of course, we had to have somebody in here saying, hey, don't do that. B17 has cyanide. You know, let me explain something to you, all right? You need to understand what the combination of what is going on in the seed that is inducing a death to cancer. It is a biological combination of several different biological elements that are going on with the seed that make the so-called cyanide that's in the goddamn seed work against cancer. All right? I'm sick and tired of these fucking people that think they're so fucking smart because of a goddamn fucking piece of shit fucking school, man. I hate college. Don't go to college. Fuck. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just saying, man. Look, look. Just do your own research. Jesus fucking Christ. Where was I?
It's got cyanide, and you better stop. You better not do it, guys.
Somebody's dying of cancer. Who gives a shit, man?
You better not do it, guys. It's cyanide.
Do the research. Like I said, research fucking G. Edward Griffin. Research Jason Vale. Good God. Fucking people make me sick, man. Especially people that think they're fucking so overeducated, man. Make me fucking ill. I mean, you want to talk about overeducation? Take a look at the college. Take a look at the colleges today. Take a look at the colleges today. What are they making? A bunch of fucking social justice warrior pansy asses that are soulless, that are fucking laughing when you've got somebody breaking down in a Brett Kavanaugh, which we're going to talk about later on. You got somebody breaking down because he's an innocent man. He's fucking crying. But no, it's funny, right? Because, oh, look at me. I'm fucking overeducated. I'm overeducated, and I think that feeble-minded, dumb, ridiculous motion like that it's just ridiculous. I'm more educated than guys, all right? I don't really give a shit. It makes me fucking sick. Just shut up about the fucking B-17 in the chat room, all right? You fucking break. Fucking hate people sometimes. I'm not even joking, man. Fucking want to choke people to death sometimes. I'm not even kidding, man. I'm not even kidding around. You know what? That's all the internet is. You know, it's just some moron. It's about, hey, well, you know what about the... And what about... Oh, fuck your fucking mother, man. Anyway, let me move on, all right? Where was I? Fucking Bitcoin, BTC. Watch for a creeping on a come-up. The fucking mainstream media is all talking about a bullish reversal. Where they're getting this, I don't know. They're trying to induce it. We get it, all right? Bitcoin, market cap $114 billion. Circulating supply is 17.2 million fucking circulation, whatever the fuck. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone down 0.48%. Current price for Bitcoin is $6,594.85 per Bitcoin. We got Ethereum. We're seeing a contraction, folks. Remember, we're seeing a contraction, so everything's going to be in the red. One positive thing that I can say about this contraction is that we're not seeing double-digit percentage decreases. So that's one thing you can take into some, into some consideration here. Ethereum, ETH, market capitalization is $23 billion market cap. The circulating supply is 102 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen Ethereum go down 1.02%. Current price for Ethereum is $230.78 per Ethereum. And look, we've got some people out here calling for an Ethereum bounce back. Why? Where? I have no fucking idea. Like I said, man, there are no fundamentals to this goddamn market, man. There is no fundamentals. There's no fundamentals. So where they're getting this idea of a bounce back, I have no fucking idea. Now, Ripple, I do want to caution everybody, Ripple may do another creeping on a come up. It may do another bounce. Why am I saying this? Well, folks, right off the hot wire, XRP is the symbol for Ripple. It is now going live. Their blockchain is now going live in 3 separate financial institutions. So, I mean, it looks like, Ripple's getting, on the way into the legitimacy of the financial world. And why I don't like Ripple is because it's a centralized digital ledger. It's not even a fucking cryptocurrency. It's a ledger. And it's privatized, meaning that it's not like a decentralized situation like Bitcoin. I mean, it is the people who created this are like the mini de facto Federal Reserve when it comes to this XRP. But either way, all I'm simply stating is that there may be another bump here within the next 24 to 48 hours because XRP or Ripple is live in 3 separate financial institutions. So take a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and cover it. XRP, market cap is $23 billion market cap. The circulating supply, $39 billion. You might as well say $40 billion in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ripple has gone down 2.08%. Current price for Ripple is 57 cents. But keep an eye on Ripple, man. I'm telling you. I mean, they're moving. I mean, and obviously you have the financial institutions that want a kind of centralized cryptocurrency. They don't like the decentralized crap because then it makes banks useless. It makes banks useless. Anyway, Bitcoin Cash. Let's get to the next one, folks. BCH. I've been telling everybody to keep an eye on this one. It definitely raised here in the past couple of days, at least, 25, 30%? 25% at least. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin Cash. BCH, market capitalization is $9.2 billion market cap. Circulating supply is 17.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Bitcoin Cash has gone down very modestly, only 0.20%. Current price for Bitcoin Cash is $530.08 per Bitcoin Cash. Let's go ahead and get to Monero. Now, why do I like Monero? Well, it's being used in the dark webs. It's being used in the underwebs. So obviously there is a market for it. Not to say that I'm condoning that market. Let's go ahead and take a look at Monero. Current market cap is $1.8 billion market capitalization. The circulating supply is 16.4 million in circulation. Let's go ahead and take a look at the past 24 hours. It's gone down 1.32%. Current price for Monero, folks, is $114.45 per Monero. Okay? Let's continue on, folks, to Dash. And I want to say props to everybody out there in the True Capitalist Radio chat room who's got themselves a Dash contract. And I would strongly advise anybody who's listening to get one now, considering Dash's prices, considering you've got mainstream media calling for a bullish reversal of the contraction that we've been seeing, a lot of things. I would strongly advise people to entertain a Genesis-mining.com contract. All right, I mean, remember, Dash has gone as high as $1,600 per Dash. Dash is a very low circulation, so there's a lot more to be circulated. I mean, I think we're at about a little over 8 million in circulation for Dash. I believe what's the total circulation of Dash? Let's go ahead and get to the total circulation of Dash here. Total circulation of Dash, what is it? 18.9 million is the max supply of Dash. So, you're not even halfway. You're not even halfway at this point in time. So I'm strongly advising everybody, take a look at Genesis-mining.com. Go ahead and take a look at my Gab if you want to link to it. Take a look at my Gab if you want a link to it. I think the Dash contracts are pretty decent. Obviously, the Zcash. Monero is starting to look attractive since the underwebs are starting to use Monero. Once again, if you're going to get yourself a Genesis-mining.com contract, you got to use the discount code, baby. Everybody's got to use the discount code, and the discount code is WEA296. Once again, the Genesis-mining.com discount code is WEA296. So just letting everybody know, I'm just trying to plant seeds. Or if you're one of these tech people that knows how to, build yourself a mining rig and you know what you're doing, then go ahead and do that by all means. But I like Genesis Mining because you basically rent out the hardware. You don't have to worry about anything messing up. You don't have to worry about any kind of any of that. Any of the hardware problems of hardware mining. For all you hardware miners, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get to Dash, folks. Market cap is $1.5 billion market cap. Circulating supply, 8.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen Dash go down 0.36%. Current price for Dash is $187.09 per Dash. Let's continue on, folks, on this crypto coverage here. Let's take a look at Zcash. Once again, ZEC is the symbol. Once again, I like Zcash. Low circulation. Got the same privacy component as Monero, but I think it may be a little better. Let's take a look at Zcash. Market capitalization for Zcash is $630 million market capitalization. The circulating supply, 4.9 million. Very low circulating supply, 4.9 million. In the past 24 hours, we have seen Zcash go down 2.46% decrease. Current price for Zcash is $128.20 per Zcash. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Quantum, folks. QTUM market capitalization is $341 million market cap. The circulating supply is 88 million in circulation. Now, I do want to remind everybody, folks, that this past weekend, Forbes put out the following article: 9 blockchain and cryptocurrency companies all set for 2019. Go ahead and take a look at my Gab if you want a link to the article. But once again, Quantum is number 1 on that list for 9 blockchain and cryptocurrency companies all set for 2019. And it explains, whoever wrote this article understands blockchain and understands cryptocurrency. It explains why QTUM is so valuable, and it will be the cryptocurrency of the future. All right? So once again, Forbes magazine puts out 9 cryptocurrency companies were all set for 2019. So just letting you know, okay? These are very, very attractive prices to be getting in, especially right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. In the past 24 hours, Quantum has gone down 1% in the past 24 hours. Current price for Quantum QTUM, $3.85. That is a very, very dirt cheap price to get into. I'm telling you, you people are going to be thanking me later when this damn cryptocurrency is dominating in Asia. They've also got some coins set for the Middle East, and they're going to try to come over here to this country, folks. So that's why I'm trying to let everybody know, man, the value is in the technology, baby. All right? Let's get to one more cryptocurrency. Let's get to 0x because it's been coming up as of late. That ZRX market capitalization is $347 million market cap. Circulating supply for ZRX is 539 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, we have seen it down 1.26%. Current price for ZRX is 64 cents. Once again, keep an eye on ZRX. It could take the same trajectory as EOS. Just saying. In my opinion, I think that's the trajectory I'm looking for 0x. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to 42 coin, folks. 42 coin. Now, it, once again, is contracting on the contraction that we're seeing in the current market. So this is why we're seeing a little bit in the negative for 42 coin. Market capitalization is $830,000, so we are seeing some contraction. And the total circulating supply for 42 coin is 42 coins. All right. In the past 24 hours, 42 coin has gone down 4.37%. Current price for 42 coin is 20 grand. 20 grand, baby. And that is the cryptocurrency coverage of the evening here. Let's go ahead and get right into stocks. All right, let's go ahead and get right into stocks, folks. Now, why is the stock market going up? Even though we just had the Federal Reserve last Wednesday suggest that they're going to increase interest rates, or they're going to increase interest rates 2 to 2.25%. Because the president this morning came out and announced a new trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. It is called the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA. And because of this news, the stock market obviously reacted positively. And this is what we're seeing reflected in the stock market, man. So even though we're seeing increases in the interest rate and seeing an increase in the value of the dollar, what do we got? We still got news flourishing the stock market. That's why I keep telling you, in this environment, news is going to make moves, baby. You understand? News is going to make moves. So I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial, shall we? Dow Jones Industrial is up 192 points, a percentage increase of 0.73%. Closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 26,651.21 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P 500. It's also up, folks, 10.61 points, a percentage increase of 0.36%. Closing out the S&P 500 at 2,924.59 points for the S&P 500. Now, the NASDAQ, it's taking it on the teeth because some of these tech companies ain't looking too well. So it's modestly in the negative today. NASDAQ is down 9.05 points, a percentage decrease of 0.11%. Closing out the NASDAQ at 8,037.30 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the trade deal that the president announced this morning. Let's take a look at what it has reflected on commodities here, all right? Now, folks, I'm going to be completely honest. You've got people, since we're going to go right into the energy commodity sector here, you've got analysts in energy suggesting that there's nothing OPEC can do from stopping a potential $100 a barrel oil. Now, I'm seeing this all over the media. You're getting big-time analysts talking about this. So I'm strongly advising everybody. I've been advising everybody here within the past 2 weeks. I've been suggesting to everybody, hey, WTI sweet crude is going to go up. And the reason is because of that tremendous spread. All right, that tremendous spread between Brent crude and WTI sweet crude. Not to mention, we're having major destabilization in the Middle East. And the majority of the producers of oil are in the Middle East. So this is why you have analysts suggesting that there's nothing even OPEC can do to stop barrels of oil from going up to $100 a barrel. So just consider, if you want to make a little bit of liquid, an ETF that coincides with the increase of oil, if you want to make a little liquid. I mean, because all signs are pointing that we're going to see a $100 barrel of oil. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's take a look at WTI sweet crude, folks. Remember, when I announced this 2 weeks ago to watch, remember I kept saying, watch these oil prices, watch the gas prices. Y'all have heard me say in the past couple of weeks. WTI was like at $69. Take a look at the current price today. WTI is up 14 cents, a percentage increase of 0.19%. The current price for WTI sweet crude is $75.44 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude oil, folks. It is down today 8 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.09%. Current price for Brent crude oil is $84.90 per barrel of Brent crude oil. Gasoline, it's also up 0.05%. Natural gas is up 0.52%. Heating oil is unchanged here. Heating oil is unchanged, but what if I told you about heating oil? Just planting seeds, baby, just planting seeds. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals, let's get to the goddamn metals. We've got gold, it is up $1.10, a percentage increase of 0.09%. Closing out gold at $1,192.80 per troy ounce of gold. Silver up modestly today, it is up a penny, a percentage increase of 0.09%. Closing out silver at $14.52 per troy ounce of silver. We've got copper down today, 0.05%. Platinum is up 0.12%. Let's go ahead and get to the agriculture commodities. Grains, corn is down 0.14%. Wheat is up 0.44%. Oats is unchanged for the day. Rough rice is up 0.25%. Soybean is down 0.06%. Soybean oil is down 0.31%. And canola is down 0.54%. Let's get to the soft, shall we? Cocoa, it is down. It continues to see a free fall. It is down 3.26% decrease. I wonder if that means we're going to see cheaper treats for Halloween, huh? I wonder. Coffee, it is down 0.24%. Sugar is up. It is up majorly. Obviously has a lot to do with what's going on as it relates to those hurricanes that are afflicting certain areas of central Mexico, southern Mexico, South America. Take a look at those because they have been suffering. I guess that's why you're seeing an increase in sugar, because sugar is up 3.66%. Orange juice is down 1.02%. We've got cotton down 0.08%. Lumber is down, and we all know why lumber's down. You're going to increase the interest rates. People are probably not going to want to go out and take loans out to either rebuild their home or refix their home or buy a home. So lumber is down 2.03% decrease. Rubber is up 0.64%, and ethanol is up 0.46% increase on the day. Let's get to livestock, shall we? Give me my cola. Good cola. Hey, I gotta have soft drinks. What the hell? Anyway, we got live cattle. It is up today modestly, 0.08% increase for live cattle. I hope this is not a trend, because I want cheap beef for the holidays, don't you? Don't you want cheap beef? Don't you want a fucking rib roast that would traditionally cost you about $180? You know, bring that down to about $130, $125. Come on, man. Let's keep them freaking. Let's keep live cattle cheap. But another component of live cattle that is, you know, you got to bring into the price is cattle feeder. What we feed the damn thing. Cattle feeder is up 0.62% increase on the day. And lean hog, folks, let me tell you, I don't know what the hell's going on with lean hog prices. But if you want to get yourself a fat, greasy-ass ham bone, whether it's for Thanksgiving, whether it's for Christmas, whatever, it's going to cost you, I'll tell you that. It's going to cost you. Some pork butt is going to cost your ass. Anyway, lean hog is up 3.32% increase on the day, for Christ's sake. And that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? Now, once again, I don't know what the hell's going on with lean hog, but, you know, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? You got to keep eating bacon, right? You got to keep eating the bacon, or you got to keep bringing home the bacon. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and take some, I guess, a sip of this high-quality H2O up in here. I do want to say cheers to everybody out there who's listening to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast on this Monday. And I hope you don't have a bad case of the Mondays. Cheers, baby, cheers. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate every one of you. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, folks, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire and let everybody you know across the internets and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas U.S. time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. Add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites, and of course, type this in your browser right now, ghost.report. All right? It's as simple as that. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Make sure to spread that across the internets and throughout the world. Let them all know, baby. And by the way, what's going on in the True Capitalist Radio chat room? We got a lot of people chilling in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. What's going on? And if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, then by God, all you got to do is the following. Go to my Gab account, and if you don't have yourself a Gab account, well, get yourself one. Go to my Gab account, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost, and click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do that, go ahead and give me a private message on Gab, and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will be sure to send you a private message back with your private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple. So come on down. I'll be in the chat room tonight, and I want to see you there. So come on down. And I want to say what's going on to the people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room first and foremost. What's going on, folks? What's going on to Stagio? Reverend Ralph in the house. What's going on, man? Pepe the Frog, Nat in the place, Nason, got Meadow Form in the house. What up, man? Man Bear Pig, what up, man? Insane Energy in the house, Holden Capitalist, Herb Capitalist, Hawklight Milk, Hans Ubelanda. We've got Great Gains, Death the Bureaucrat, Cyber Necro, Curly McWhirly, Capitalist America, Billy Cossack, Aquilian, Anesthetic. What's going on to everybody in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, baby? And whoever else I've skipped over or missed, what's up to you guys? I really appreciate each and every one of you, man. Thank you, guys. I tried to come in on Saturday. It was a late Saturday night, and only like 4 or 5 people were in the chat room. So I'm hoping everybody was out there having a badass bitchin' Saturday night. I hope. I sincerely hope. Anyway, what's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room? Let me go ahead and take another sip of some high-quality H2O, and we're going to get down to the straight political dope, baby. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the modern-day George Washington himself. I'm talking about the greatest president in American history, President Donald Trump. Now, folks, he did have a rally this past Saturday in West Virginia. He actually is having a rally right now. It may have just ended, but this just goes to show you that the president is in campaign mode, and he is dead serious about hoping to inspire each and every one of you that aided him into the White House in 2016 to go out in 2018 and vote Republican. I mean, if you take a look at my Gab recently, I give you enough reasons why we need as much people going out to the polls voting Republican as we possibly can. I mean, I'm giving you a ton of reasons why. But I hope that the president going out here and working as vigorously as he's done here, not just as being the president, but going out and campaigning, I hope that inspires each and every one of you to take the 2018 midterm serious. Because these goddamn leftists sure as hell are. These goddamn leftists, they even dusted off a glory hole serving power bottom Obama and his power top tranny wife, Michelle Obama, out here to go and campaign for these nimrods out here, the Democrats. They're pulling out all stops. They're pulling out all stops, for Christ's sake, and I'm telling you right now, and I'm not saying this is a threat. I'm saying this because, I mean, I have no choice. I'm not going to sit here and continue to scream my lungs out and to continue to convey the straight political dope if nobody's fucking listening. If the Democrats win the majority in 2018, this show will no longer exist. I'm going to quit the show. I'm going to quit the show because it seems to me that the majority of the people out here that were a part of that 2016 presidential campaign are sitting on their thumbs, they're playing their fucking video games, they're waxing their carrot to cartoons or whatever the hell they're doing, as opposed to understanding what is serious in their faces, and that is continuing what we started in 2016, you goddamn mindless numbnuts. Good God, stop urinal cake curating, faggots, and go out and do something political! Good God! I mean, I hear that 4chan's poll is just finally, instead of flapping their fat Cheeto-stained fucking Pop-Tart crumb-riddled fingers on the keyboard making memes and talking garbage, they're finally starting to do something political. But what did it take? It took Brett Kavanaugh's situation and all the feminists demonizing this man for them to finally be inspired. But you know what, 4chan's poll? I think it's a little too late for you guys. I unfortunately think that you guys should have put down the fucking game controllers and put down the goddamn cartoon pornography and should have started doing some shit this past summer, you fucking Pop-Tart munching faggots! I'm not kidding with you sphincter fingers out there in 4chan, man. All right, it's a little too late. I think it's a little too late. Y'all should have came by in the summer and started doing this shit. We are literally 30-something days away from the goddamn election. And now 4chan's poll's coming up. Now you are. And you know what? I've been unfollowed by 4chan's Gab. I was like one of a few people that they followed. You want to know why they unfollowed me? Because I'm telling these fuckers the truth. Okay? I mean, you morons need to put down your fucking stupid, ridiculous, waxing your carrot cartoons and put those away. You need to put your fucking stupid video games away and start realizing that America is the last bastion of freedom in which the people pick who rules them. Do you think that these people in the UK, which voted for Brexit, which are not going to get it, even though they think they are, they're not going to get it, do you think that they wish that they could vote out the pieces of shit that's in their parliament? Of course they do. Of course they do. Do you think they really want a stupid, disgusting, socialist, communist witch like Theresa May ruling them? No! They have no choice! We have the choice, but you fucking idiots gotta get up off your fat jelly asses and do something! Stop playing your fucking games! Stop waxing off your fucking stupid damn cartoons! It's serious business, you assholes! Good God! Stop being infatuated with anal secretions and realize that you've got a serious political situation standing in front of your fucking pockmarked, pimpled faces, you fuckers! Ah, God! And you know, the president, he's coming out here amidst all his presidential duties. He's coming out here trying to campaign. And I hope that all his energy, his effort, is not falling on deaf ears, for Christ's sake, because I'm telling you, we need each and every one of you out there to go and vote. Do you understand this? Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it, man. You don't think the left is fucking serious? Look at what they're doing. They're out there on a push to register new fucking morons to vote. They've got people that are funded by George Soros and all kinds of fucking people out there registering idiots to vote. I mean, that's why we need you to take shit serious, man. Fuck! So once again, if the fucking Democrats win, I'm getting off. There's no reason for me to broadcast, for heaven's sake. But aside from the president having his rallies in an attempt to try to kind of inspire people from 2016 to get up off their lazy goddamn asses and go to the polls in 2018, I don't know if you saw this morning, once again, I alluded to this at the beginning of the broadcast, the president came out to announce the new agreement between United States, Mexico, and Canada called the USMCA, United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. And in that announcement, he took a de facto type of a press conference, man. And once again, I mean, the president has another explosive press conference, and he's literally bitch-slapping these goddamn reporters around like it ain't crap. I mean, did you hear him this morning, man? I'm telling you, Trump is his best Trump when he's taking questions from the media. I mean, did you hear him tell that female reporter who questioned him about Kavanaugh? And she was the first person he picked, and she wanted to talk about Kavanaugh, even though he had made this big announcement about these trade agreements. That just goes to show you about what this fake news is trying to do, what kind of narrative the fake news wants to curve people's minds into understanding, believing, and talking about that at the dinner table, for Christ's sake. He told a female reporter, "I know you're not thinking. You never do." And now, of course, you've got all the social justice warriors and all the mainstream media outlets. They're all triggered. They're autistically screeching now. They're autistically screeching because they can't believe the president said, "I know you're not thinking. You never do." Aw, how could he say that to a woman reporter? Look, broads, aren't you bitching about, Brett Kavanaugh and the victims must be heard, and you want to be fucking equal and all this other crap? Here, the president is treating everyone equal in the press corps. He would have said that to a woman, man, a trans testicle, it doesn't matter. But you see, this mainstream fake news media, they're going to use anything in an attempt to try to make the president look bad. This broad that he said this to was the first person he chose as a press conference pick, and the first thing she wanted to ask was about Brett Kavanaugh instead of this tremendous historical restructuring of the NAFTA deal, which is now known as USMCA, the United States-Mexico-Canada Trade Agreement. And lest we forget, Canada, within 48 hours, came to the table and is now a part of the deal. Can you believe that? Oh, man. Anyway, the press conference was epic, all right? I mean, he called out people that were in the Senate Judiciary Committee, like Cory Booker. Did you hear him call out Cory Booker? I'm glad he did. This stupid mulatto admitted in his own book that he sexually abused a woman when he was 15 years old at a New Year's Eve party in 1984. But did you hear how CNN kind of brushes that under the rug for Cory Booker?
Yeah, you know what? He did kind of, do that. He did sexually abuse a woman, but he wrote about it and he learned something from it, so it's okay now. Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah, that's great. It's okay now.
Go fuck off, man. Do you understand the double standard that's going on here with the damn Democrats, folks? And anybody who falls for this, you're an idiot. You're you're an imbecilic, should have your voting rights revoked moron. Anyway, I loved how the president was going after, even went after fucking Blumenthal from Connecticut, you know?
Hi, I'm Blumenthal, and I can't believe that Brett Kavanaugh is doing this. And
you sniveling little fuck. I wouldn't be surprised, in my opinion, if you had a 10-year-old boy in your goddamn trunk, you sick fuck. But anyway, the reason the president called out Blumenthal is because I talked about this last show. Stolen valor. This asshole, when he was the Attorney General of Connecticut, claimed that he was in Da Nang shooting gooks from a goddamn chopper or some shit. He claimed that he saw live action in Vietnam, and when he got called out for being a stolen fucking valor lying faggot, he was like, "I'm sorry, I must have miscalculated. I don't know where that came from. I served in the military during that time, but I wasn't in Da Nang." And shut up! And you know what? Connecticut still elected this fucking lying, stolen valor fuck. That just goes to show you what kind of trash is in Connecticut. What kind of low-grade, No kind of goddamn integrity trash is in Connecticut, for Christ's sake. Oh, good God. Oh. But I'm glad the president is calling these people out. I'm glad he's calling them out, because since when did the Democrats become moralists? Since when did the Democrats become this moral party all of a sudden? I can't believe that we're playing these fucking games with the Democrats, folks. This is why we need a pro-Trump Republican Congress. This is why we need you all to go out 2018 voting fucking Republican, man. If everybody just sits at home and watches a movie and doesn't do anything when it comes down to voting, and we see a Democrat blue wave, folks, it is going to be hell for our country. Nothing is going to get done. All we're going to see is,
yeah, I'm the resistance. I'm Blumenthal, and I was actually in Vietnam, and I'm a part of the resistance.
I'm just sick of this shit. I'm so sick. I can't believe that there's even a part of the country that believes in these sick, soulless people. These people are soulless, man. Anyway, the mainstream media used this press conference that the president was announcing this United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement to push the more fake news narrative on the sex abuse of Brett Kavanaugh. And, you know, it's a disgrace. We're going to talk about Brett Kavanaugh in a second. But let's move on to something first before we get to Brett Kavanaugh. And I want to talk about Kanye West, baby. That's right, Yeezy, baby. Did you see him on Saturday Night Live? Probably not, because from what I understand, they didn't even air this particular part of the concert in which Kanye West was supposed to be the guest singer on SNL. Well, apparently he went out with a Make America Great Again hat, and as he went out with the Make America Great Again hat, they started booing him. The audience at the All-American SNL, the Saturday Night Live crew, they all started booing him, and he stood up to these people. He said, look at these people. They're booing me. They're booing me, and he fucking lectured these people that are leftists, that are trying to say, hey, Kanye, you're black. And because you're black, you can't go with anybody else but the left. You can't vote for anybody else but Democrats. You're a black man. And what Kanye West is trying to say is that if we still live in a free society, then let the man do what he wants politically. Let the man believe what he wants to believe without chastising him and trying to group pressure the man into doing something he doesn't want to do. I mean, this is what Kanye was trying to display on the Saturday Night Live. He was saying, look, do we live in a country where this is a country made for the people, by the people? Isn't this a country of the land of the free and the home of the brave? I mean, come on! I'm glad that Kanye West is sticking to his guns and he's not succumbing to the pressure. Succumbing to the pressure because he likes Trump. And of course Kanye West would like Trump. Any black person that has any kind of common sense and that has not been induced by this gangster rap bullshit that Jewish and white elitists have been pushing down the throats of black people ever since the Chronic album, any black person with common sense could see that what Trump has done has progressed black folk more than the black president that was before he. What did the black president do? If you want my opinion, the so-called black president, Barack Obama, threw black people back at least 25, 30 years economically. He made black folks dependent on entitlements, dependent on welfare, dependent on EBT, with no way to progress themselves, because if you decide to get yourself a job, if you decide to progress yourself, they're going to take that little entitlement away from you, which scares most people that are collecting it. And what Trump has done is he's provided economic opportunity. Isn't that what I've always said capitalists give? They don't give winners and losers. They don't pick winners and losers like socialist and communist models do. What capitalism does, it gives an equal opportunity for all to be able to conduct themselves as an individual and to take them wherever they want to go. Opportunity. That's what we didn't have during the Obama administration. Opportunity. And the president talked about it today in his press conference, that there's so many jobs and there's so much opportunity in this country that even people that are coming out of prison are now being accepted as legitimate employees because there's so many jobs and not enough people to fill them. We've got historic lows. I'm talking the lowest in American history in black unemployment. The lowest in American history in Latin unemployment. The lowest in history, folks, in folks that didn't even graduate from high school. People that have no high school diplomas are now gainfully employed at a historic rate. And you want to know what? What is the alternative? What are the Democrats offering an alternative? They're not offering anything. Just like they did during Barack Obama's tenure. Remember during 2008 campaign, everybody was like, hey, vote for Barack Obama. He's a black man. And you know what? I mean, because I'm a white liberal and I'm going to vote for a black man, maybe we'll be able to stop the racial hatred and the racial tension. Y'all remember that in 2008? Oh, my God, every fucking liberal was touting this. Yeah, if we vote for him, I mean, this will show that America isn't racist and that it'll bring us all together and we can just go ahead and close the book on slavery and all this shit. I heard all that shit in 2008. Yeah, if we vote for Barack Obama, Europe will like us, and he'll cause world peace, and he'll pay for our fucking cars, and he'll pay for my mortgage, and all this shit. He didn't promise anything. Barack Obama, he didn't promise anything. You know what he promised? Yes, we can. That's what he promised. Yes, we can. And by the way, if you take a look at his speech, his acceptance speech, once he won the election, take a listen to the Yes We Can speech backwards. I've talked about this. I think I've even aired this. But Yes We Can, when you reverse it, is thank you, Satan. And I know many people are going to say, Ghost, it's just happenstance. That's just a coincidence, Ghost. You know, it's just a coincidence. Just like it's a coincidence when you play Stairway to Heaven backwards. It's a song for Satan. Yeah, it's just a coincidence. But take a look at the evil ways of these Democrats, man. The soullessness of these fucking Democrats, for Christ's sake. I mean, take a look at what they did to Kanye West at Saturday Night Live. I mean, Kanye West said that not only were they booing him in the audience, but they were trying to bully him backstage to not have him wear the Make America Great Again hat. And that's why they didn't air any of that concert, because the left knows that their whole fictitious political perspective is nothing more than a house of cards. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Anyway, let me move on, folks, because I definitely do want to talk about Brett Kavanaugh, since it's on everybody's mind, and since the Republicans have capitulated to the damn Democrats and made this extra week so that the FBI can investigate the sex abuse claims by these leftist-affiliated women against Brett Kavanaugh. That's what we're sitting here waiting for. Apparently, the FBI has been investigating all throughout the weekend, today, and is going to continue throughout the week. And you know what? I knew that the Republicans should not have submitted to these Democrats, because take a listen to what the Democrats are saying now, okay? Because they know that these dumb women that are out here, that are claiming all these sex abuse claims, are all a bunch of fibbers, liars, you know, wanting notoriety, a book deal, a spotlight, money, whatever it is, whatever they want. And if you want my opinion, folks, I think GoFundMe, the company, should be investigated. Because in my opinion, GoFundMe has been a way to pay off people and make it look like it's a collaborative effort. I mean, take a look at all the scumbags who have gotten GoFundMe accounts and the hundreds of thousands of dollars that miraculously show up there. I'm talking about James Comey. I'm talking about Andrew McCabe. I'm talking about that asshole Peter Strzok. And this dumb bimbo, Blase Ford, this bitch has got almost $1 million in GoFundMe so-called donations. You don't think that's a payoff? I mean, I'm starting to think that GoFundMe, in my opinion, is a way to money launder. And I think that GoFundMe should be investigated as far as I'm concerned. Because that's how you can easily pay off somebody like a Blase Ford, is through these GoFundMe accounts. You know how they traditionally used to do this? They used to pay off people by paying off their homes or by giving them nonprofit organizations and donating large sums of money to nonprofit organizations. I don't mean to recant the Sandy Hook, but I think people need to investigate why people in Sandy Hook miraculously got their houses paid off months before the actual attack happened on Sandy Hook. I would also like to take into consideration the folks that supposedly had children who died in Sandy Hook. Why don't you take a look at the nonprofit organizations that they run today and how much money those nonprofit organizations have raised? This is traditionally how you pay off people, but now that you've got GoFundMe, it's a direct goddamn payment to somebody's bank account. Anyway, look, I knew that all this sex abuse claims was nothing more than the politicization of rape by the Democrats. Once again, the president said this morning in his press conference, why did Dianne Feinstein, the senator that had the letter from this broad, why did she wait since July until the very last minute to leak it? We all know why. And that's politicization of rape. How in the hell can these Democrats stand on any kind of moral soapbox when it was they themselves that politicized rape? They sandbagged this. They sandbagged this crap. And by the way, folks, they know that they're not going to find anything on Brett Kavanaugh, all right? I mean, this is going to be the 7th FBI background investigation into Brett Kavanaugh. They're not going to find dick, okay? But you know what the Democrats are saying now? Take a look at Representative Jerry Fatney-ass Nadler. And by the way, I want to know what Nadler, what kind of fucking Jewish blood of children he's drinking. Because I remember Jared Nadler being a obese Snorlax about 15 years ago. I mean, how can an obese Snorlax like this not have anything wrong with his coronary? And I'm sorry. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, Gerald Nadler, congressman out of New York, says that the House will investigate Brett Kavanaugh if he is confirmed. Can you believe this? That even if he's confirmed to the Supreme Court that this asshole, Representative fucking Gerald Nadler out of New York, probably somebody who was best friends with Anthony Weiner, Gerald Nadler says that the House will still investigate Brett Kavanaugh. So you see what I'm saying, folks? You capitulate to these goddamn Democrats, they're not going to stop. And how anyone who's a Democrat that can continue to legitimize this is beyond me. It's beyond me. It's just setting a dangerous precedent. I mean, I want to go into the backgrounds of all these people now. What makes Gerald Nadler such a fucking moral authority here to where he suggests that he is going to use his House authority in the Congress to continue to investigate Kavanaugh even after he is put in as the Supreme Court Justice? I mean, this is insane, man. This is completely insane, and I can't believe that I can't believe we're putting up with this. I can't believe these Republicans are this spineless, for Christ's sake. This is why we need a Republican majority, so we don't have spineless Republicans, because there'll be more Republicans to offset these fucking rhinos that are wolves in sheep's clothing in the Republican Party. They'll offset these sons of bitches. Good God. Once again, Gerald Nadler, the fat jelly-ass congressman out of New York, says that the House they're still going to investigate Kavanaugh, even if he's confirmed to the Supreme Court. And by the way, guess what one of the Senate Judiciary Committee cunts said? I'm talking about this pineapple up the ass having broad from Hawaii. I'm talking about Senator Mazi Hirono. Mazi Hirono, you know what she said? She said that Kavanaugh should be recused from any Supreme Court cases involving Democrats because, quote, he revealed himself as a partisan. Can you believe this? Can you believe this shit? This is what this all comes down to. I mean, I can't believe that this stupid, dumb Hawaiian piece of trash, and I hope Hawaii gets engulfed by that damn volcano that's engulfing that stupid little pissing ground island. Senator Mazi Hirono says that Kavanaugh should recuse himself from any Supreme Court cases involving Democrats because, quote, he's revealed himself as a partisan. I mean, what the fuck are these Democrats talking about? They're making up the rules as they go by, and because nobody knows what's going on, people are just shaking their heads saying, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, are you kidding me? Partisan showed himself as a partisan? You mean to tell me that Ginsburg, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, isn't a partisan? Ruth Bader Ginsburg isn't a partisan? I mean, lest we forget, she said things against Trump when he was running for president in 2016. How is that not partisan? Does everybody forget that? That stupid old bag? Ruth Bader Ginsburg actually made the Supreme Court political during 2016 and she had to retract her statements? How come that's not partisan? How come Kagan isn't partisan? Didn't Kagan do... no, that was Sotomayor. The ACLU work. I mean, even Ginsburg did ACLU work. ACLU isn't partisan, you dumb shits. The ACLU has spent over $1 million in this Kavanaugh situation. Did you know that? The ACLU has spent over $1 million trying to trash Kavanaugh. And you mean to tell me that you got this stupid dumb cunt, this stupid dumb old Hawaiian bitch from fucking Hawaii saying that Kavanaugh should recuse himself from Supreme Court cases involving Democrats because he revealed himself as a partisan? Are you kidding me? I mean, then I think that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I mean, we could play this game all day with these fucking Democrats, man. They are trying to demoralize our institutions of government, and I think that real American people need to wake up and realize this shit. This is what we're going to get if the Democrats win in 2018, you numbnuts. This is what we're going to get. Why do you think that I come on this broadcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and give you all my fucking soul? Because I'm trying to wake some of you up. We cannot let the country go down in peril. We cannot allow these anti-American trash, the Democratic Party, to be elected. They're anti-American. Even the president says it. Even the president says it. These Democrats want open borders. They want open borders, and if you have open borders, you don't have a country, you idiots. These people want illegal immigrants to come into this country. As a matter of fact, you morons that are law-abiding American citizens need to realize that the Democrats think that the immigrants are more important than you. Take a look at how they're trying to push for sanctuary cities. Take a look in California. They're trying to push for a sanctuary state. That means that these Democrats believe that illegal immigrants, people that come into this country illegally, supersede the importance of American citizens. And that is based on the Democrats' actions. On their actions. Not anything else. And by the way, who else do the Democrats come out for? Who else do the Democrats come out for when they want a camera in their face and they want the spotlight? criminals and people who want to sexualize children. I find it funny that these stupid people that are in the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Democratic side, these people are trying to act like moral authority when these people, if you ask them on whether or not there should be a drag queen club for kids, they'll say, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a drag club for children. There's nothing wrong with children going to a pride parade and watching oral copulation between two men across the street from them. There's nothing wrong with that. That's pride. That's LGBTQ pride. That's what that is. Jesus Christ. And you know what? By the way, let me get a book. All right, I'm gonna read you something. Let me get this fucking book. All right? Let me get a fucking book. Now, the reason I'm bringing this book up is because since we're talking about LGBTQ, okay? Since we're talking about LGBTQ, I want to read you something about the LGBTQ movement, all right? I want to read you something. I'm going to read you something, and I want you to realize what the hell this LGBTQ movement is all about. All right? Let me find the page here. Please excuse me, folks. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this page because I want everybody to hear what the hell. Now, what I'm doing is I'm searching through the Encyclopedia of the American Left. Now, the reason I have this book, folks, is because it has a detailed history of every socialist, communist, and anarchist episode in American history. Mostly socialist and communist, okay? And what I'd like to read to you here it is right here. Here it is, 257. Let's go ahead and go to 257. And I want to read something to you here from the Encyclopedia of the American Left, okay? I'm going to read you something. I'm going to read you something because you idiots that are out here trying to say that gays or LGBTQ is some kind of a personal identity, I'm telling you it's nothing more than how you like to fuck. And this idea of, oh, I'm having pride because I take it in the ass and I suck cocks and I muff dive. Oh, I have pride because I dress like a fucking woman or I'm a fucking woman dressing like a man. I've got pride. You just like to fuck in very, very unique, some may say sinful capacities, all right? Now, I want to read to you from the Encyclopedia of the American Left. This is on page 257 for all those folks that may or may not have this book, because I have talked about this book several times. People have bought it, okay? I want to read to you something in this book called The Gay and Lesbian Liberation Movement. Yeah, it's in the Encyclopedia of the American Left, and I'm only going to read you a little bit. But I want you to understand that these LGBTQ people, they are communist and socialist, and it goes back a long, long way. Why do you think the gay, lesbian liberation movement is even in this book? Let me go ahead and read you something, okay? The Gay and Lesbian Liberation Movement. On June 27th, 1969, the patrons of the Stonewall Inn gay bar in New York's Greenwich Village reacted angrily and violently to a police raid. The unprecedented response to police harassment sparked 3 days of rioting. That revolt is now recognized as the inception of a process that has transformed gays and lesbians into a minority group with its own issues, culture, and a politics very much on the left of the U.S. political spectrum. Every year, on the last Sunday of June, Stonewall is commemorated by massive gay pride marches. Now do we know why gay pride is in June now, huh? Now we know why gay pride is in June? Once again, every year on the last Sunday of June, Stonewall is commemorated by a massive gay pride parade march in New York City and San Francisco, as well as smaller manifestations throughout the United States. These events constitute some of the largest political mobilizations since the anti-Vietnam rallies. Intellectual and political developments in Europe prior to Stonewall, particularly in the USSR and Germany, had an enormous impact on the gay liberation in the United States evolving. The conceptualization of homosexual as an identity, as opposed to an isolated sexual act, occurred for the first time in the second half of the 19th century. Did you all hear what they did? This is what the fucking communists and socialists did to you fucking fudge-packing, cock-sucking muff divers. Instead of just making it an isolated sexual act, instead of calling it what it is, which is, if you happen to be a power bottom, you like your goddamn prostate massage with a meat bag, all right? Or you got some oral fixation on playing the flesh flute, or if you're a lesbian, you like going down on the pearl tongue and licking the pink taco, all right? But once again, I want to reiterate what it says here in the Encyclopedia of the American Left when it comes to the LGBTQ movement. Once again, listen. The conceptualization of homosexual as an identity as opposed to an isolated sexual act occurred for the first time in the second half of the 19th century. Good God!
But, oh, I've got pride. I've got so much pride. And I'm just, LGBTQ, it's my identity. It's my identity, you silly.
Give me a fucking break. I'm serious. Give me a damn break. I didn't mean to go off on this soliloquy about LGBTQ, but I mean, I'm tired of this stupid movement, man. I'm sincerely tired of this stupid movement. All right? I mean, this LGBTQ movement has made getting your fucking hole paused as some kind of political statement. You know that? I mean, I'm not joking. If you end up HIV positive or got the full-blown AIDS, all of a sudden you're some kind of a political figure. All of a sudden it's a political statement. Oh, look at him. He's got HIV. Look at him go. I mean, did y'all... I've talked about this many times. A couple of years ago, some stupid fucking some drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race had some kind of blouse or veil that was dyed in HIV blood. And, oh, look at her brave. It's a brave drag queen because she's wearing a blouse with HIV blood, and it's going against the stigma. And shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up, man! I'm tired of this shit! I'm tired of it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of the LGBTQ because we know... I just read to you what the origin was. And it was goddamn socialist and communist in nature. And you know, I want to be honest. Even if they were... Let's say we were in a communist society. Okay? Let's just say we were in a communist society. What makes the gays think that communism wants them around? I mean, in every variant of communism, what is communism? I've talked about this 1,000 fucking times. Communism is dialectic materialism. That's the philosophy. Hegelian dialectics with a materialist component. And for those that don't know the dialectics, I will tell you once again, Hegel's dialectics was an idea, a philosophy in which there's a certain set of reality. For instance, before Trump, there was a certain reality until Trump came along and exposed the contradictions and the hypocrisy within that reality, which in turn created a new reality in that Trump is president, in that America first, in that we're not going to be down with globalism, etc. And you see, that is the Hegelian dialectic, this evolution of ideas, of the idea of a certain reality existing, and then contradictions and hypocrisies exposed in that reality, which creates a new reality until the hypocrisy and the contradictions expose that reality for a new reality, and so forth. And according to Hegel, because of this philosophy, at some point, whether it be 1,000 years or thousands of years, that humanity would eventually reach a contradictionless society. A contradictionless society. That's what Hegel believed. Now, the communists, their philosophy is that they believe in Hegelian dialectics, but they added a materialistic component to that philosophy, meaning that everything is material. There's nothing with any kind of divine significance. For instance, people. People are nothing more than the equivalent of a building block that creates a building, or a piece of wood that builds a house. It's just material. And what the communists believe is that through centralization of power and the complete takeover of the means of production, that a central authority can leap over the evolutionary process of the Hegelian dialectic. And by doing so, this is what justifies the communists for killing millions of people. The communists justify killing millions and millions of people because they don't need these people. These people are not a part of the plan. And obviously, every time a communist takes control of a nation state, they want to leap forward, kind of like Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward. I mean, Stalin did the same thing. Was it the 5-year leap? I mean, all these goddamn communists talk about a leap forward because what they're doing is they're utilizing their materialist component in their Hegelian philosophy, and they are leaping beyond the evolutionary progress of the Hegelian dialectic. They don't want to wait. You see, communists want to use the centralized power to force the Hegelian dialectic to happen at a rapid capacity as opposed to waiting for the evolutionary process of the Hegelian dialectic. And by doing so, you have to have people die. Because not everybody in a communist society is going to be useful for the collective. And this goes back to the LGBTQ. What makes you think that you posholes are actually going to benefit in a communist society? I mean, if you take a look at every communist society, the first people to die off are people of no significance to the collective planning. I mean, that's why Stalin allowed 10 million Ukrainians to starve to death, because he had no use for the Ukrainians. That's why Mao Zedong in his Great Leap Forward had 30 million people starved to death, because he didn't need these people. He didn't need these people. Who cares? People are but material in the communist idea. So people are disposable at the whim of the centralization of power. So once again, I ask you posholes, you LGBTQ people, what makes you think that communism is even going to have you in existence? You people, with all due respect, and I don't mean to demean anyone's life, but you people are a burden on society. And how are you a burden? All you care about is your fucking carnal instincts. That's all you care about. That's all you live for. I mean, I see Truvada commercials every fucking day, for Christ's sake, of gay people saying, hey, I use condoms, but I want to do more. You want to do more what? You want to do more barebacking, right? You don't want to wear a condom when you fucking give it to somebody in the ass, or you want to take it in the ass. That's what Truvada is. If y'all don't know what Truvada is, or P-Rep, or PrEP, however the fuck you want to call it, it is a pill that is now being government funded to any poshole that wants to take it on a daily basis that'll prevent them from catching HIV if they happen to go in bareback. All right, that's what this is all about, folks. And you mean to tell me that a communist society would want to allocate resources for this shit? I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you the realism of communism, man. You mean to tell me that a communist central authority is going to want to allocate resources so that a bunch of carnal posholes can go and keep fucking each other? No! That's how communism isn't run. And all of you people with HIV, AIDS, all of you posholes that are out there, are Truvada whores or whatever you think you are, you people would be the first ones killed in a communist society because you are of no use to the communist society. I mean, if anything, you are a burden to the general communist society because you could infect them. You can infect them with disease, which is going to cost the communist society. And the communists don't want incurred cost. Why do that? Just kill them. I mean, that's what communists believe. And I can't believe we've got so many gays and lesbians and all this shit. We got all these people that are so pro-communist when they would not be in a communist society. They would be purged. I mean, communism is all about centralization of power. It's about allocating the resources and using them as a state and progressing the state as a collective force. Why the hell would they want posholes involved in a communist society? They won't. So I think you posholes need to wake up. Okay? I think you posholes need to wake up and realize that you're being used, and moreover, you're being used more ways than one. And this is the only society, American society, would be crazy enough because we allow people to do whatever we want. Remember, this is a free society. American society is the only society in which you can conduct yourself the way you've conducted yourself. Because communism sure as hell isn't going to pay for Truvada so that you can be a carnal fucking pos bag. I mean, communism would kill you all. I mean, it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And not only would communism kill the posholes, they would kill everybody who's on welfare, because why the fuck do we need, as a central planning system that is trying to take a leap forward past the Hegelian dialectic, why in the hell would a communist society want to pay for people that do nothing but turn perfectly good food into shit? No, they don't want that. They don't want that. You know what the communists would do? I'll tell you what the communists would do. The communists would take you useless people who think that you deserve to eat, sleep, and shit and to be housed, clothed, and everything else just because you sit and exist. They would take you, probably burn you into ashes, and use your ashes to fertilize the crops. That's what communism does. All right? That's what communism does. So once again, I'm talking about you poshole, Truvada-taking fruit bowls, and you people that do nothing for this society. If you're doing nothing for American society, and you have no skills, and you have nothing to offer a country, what makes you think communism will take care of you? I mean, you people need to wake up and realize what communism is. If y'all want to go communism, well then realize what it is. You, as a person who has no significance in this society, is sure as hell not going to have significance in a communist society. Communist, and every person living in a communist society has to be doing something. And even though you idiots in America today that hate Trump and think Trump's such a bad guy, even though y'all are probably collecting welfare checks, y'all are collecting food cards, you people would be put to death in a communist society. Communism would not feed you because you have nothing. You have no purpose. You have no skills. You would not progress communism or socialism. You would be put to death because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to put you to death than to pay for you to exist. Fucking wake up. Good God, man. I mean, that's what socialism and communism is, folks. That's what it all comes down to. So all you idiots that are out here with this political romanticized idea that, if a communist society comes along, that I'm just going to go ahead and be able to watch television or play video games or do whatever and continue to be fed, clothed, and housed. That's not what communism is. You would be forced to work. And if you didn't work, you would be killed. That's what communism is. You would work, and you would work for free. You would work, and you would probably work 15 hours a day straight. You would work, and you would say nothing. That's what communism is. You would be forced to work. Unlike in American capitalism, look at all the people that aren't working and that are still getting fat in the ass and are still bitching. Fucking ungrateful assholes. Anyway, look, I'm sorry. I went on a major soliloquy about some stuff, but it just had to be said. I'm sorry. It just had to be said. I mean, obviously, this pissed me off because I'm talking about the Brett Kavanaugh FBI investigations, and you got Gerald Nadler over here talking about how the House is going to possibly investigate Brett Kavanaugh if he's confirmed to the Supreme Court. You've got this stupid Hawaiian fucking dumb broad Mazi Hirono saying that Kavanaugh should recuse himself from Supreme Court cases that involve Democrats because he revealed himself as a, quote, partisan, even though Ruth Bader Ginsburg made comments against someone who was running for president in 2016. How come this broad isn't told to be getting off the court if she's a partisan? You mean to tell me that Kagan, that stupid dumb bimbo who looks like the offspring between Shemp and Chaz Bono, for Christ's sake, you don't think that she or it is goddamn biased or partisan? You don't think Sotomayor, you don't think that she is partisan? Give me a fucking break with these Democrats, man. And you know why we're doing all this, folks? You know why we're doing all this? We're doing all this because of Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake. Oh, yeah. Man, if you see Jeff Flake, kick him in the balls, man. Are you kidding me? I mean, Jeff Flake, the senator from the nuclear waste dump of Arizona, and this just goes to show you what kind of trash is coming out of Arizona. I mean, these are the two senators that you could pick, Arizona. John Turncoat fucking Songbird McCain and Jeff fucking Flake. I'm telling you, Arizona's a complete nuclear waste dump, man. Everybody from Arizona, go fuck yourself. I'm serious. Go fuck yourself. What a bunch of trash that is. Oh, I wouldn't take a dirty diarrhea shit in Arizona, man. Are you kidding me? Probably filled with a bunch of desert head, anal secretion lover, dog farting fetish assholes out there, for Christ's sake, you enema bag cleaning faggots. That's my senator. I'm from Arizona. It's Jeff Flake. It's Jeff Flake. It's Arizona. Shut up. This is why we're here. And did you see what Jeff Flake did? This was a complete setup, and I'm glad it's starting to come out as a setup. Jeff Flake tweeted that, I'm going to vote for Brett Kavanaugh. I'm going to vote for him, and I'm going to vote yay. And then supposedly some two cunts cornered Flake in a goddamn elevator. And, of course, there happened to have been a CNN camera there to catch it, right? Fake news CNN had a camera there to catch it, and guess what? The two women that were berating Flake while Flake was looking down like he just lost his dog, even though his children like to kill dogs for some reason. Y'all need to look that up. That just goes to show you what kind of a fucking parent Jeff Flake is. You know, his kids are out here killing dogs like they were fucking Mike Vick's protégés or some shit. But no, you got Jeff Flake there in an elevator looking down, and you got two stupid dumb cunts saying, how dare you? I was sexually assaulted. How can you do this? Look at me. Look at me. Well, it comes to find out, folks, that both of those women that alleged sexual assault and cornered Jeff Flake into that elevator were, guess what, tied to who? George Soros. Here we go again. The open society. Open society. It all comes back around to George Soros, man. Good God, man. And what does George Soros want? What does George Soros want? Hey, George Soros, can you tell us what the fuck you want, please?
Yes. I am George Soros, and I want to take over the world. And I want to say that Donald Trump made me very angry and very mad. And I am going to spend millions of dollars trying to take out Donald Trump, who's trying to take away globalism. Me and the Rockefeller and the Rothschild, we've been doing a lot. We've been doing a lot for the New World Order for the past 50 to 60 years. And then we got Donald Trump to come in and he want to kill the New World Order. Well, I'll tell you what. I am George Soros, and I am going to continue to fund more leftists and the communists and the socialists, and I'm going to continue to do it because the world is mine. Everything is mine. All your governments, all of your homosexuals, all of your black people, they're all mine. The whole world is mine. Everything is mine. And there's nothing you can do about it. None of you can do nothing to stop it, George Soros. There's nothing. Your people are against me. You're nothing. You're like ants. I flick you off. You're nothing to a George Soros. And take a look at my son. Take a look at my son, Alex Soros. He's even meaner than me. So when I die, you think I go away? No, I not go away. My son Alex will come over and he's going to give you hell. So don't talk against George Soros again. I am going to take over the world. I should have died years ago, but I'm alive. Because the world is mine. Everything is mine. Your mother's coochie is mine. Everything is mine. And all of your people that think you can stop it, George Soros, I will show you true power.
Jesus Christ. I mean, can you all wake up and realize that this man, George Soros, is a dangerous man? How is George Soros able to walk around a free man, causing this much havoc in not only this country, but countries around the world? This guy is a literal James Bond villain. How come this guy is still around, man? How much blood of young innocent children is this man drinking for him to stay alive this long? Once again, those women that cornered Jeff Flake into that little elevator, tied to the open society, tied to George Soros. How convenient, isn't it, folks? How convenient. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread this show link around like wildfire. And once again, let everybody you know across the internet and throughout the world, let them all know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And once again, I love being independent now. Type this in your browser, add this to your bookmarks, add this to your favorites, the following, ghost.report, okay? That's all you got to type in your browser right now. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, all right? Make sure to spread that throughout the internet and throughout the world. Because remember, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you're listening to the political underground, folks. You're listening to the political underground. Anyway, folks, before I move on, I'd like to remind everybody I will be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room after this broadcast. And if you want to come join me, come on down. All right? How to get to the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, just listen to the following. What you do is you go to my Gab account right now, okay? And if you don't have a Gab account, get yourself a free one, and then follow me. Follow me under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow on Gab. And once you get there, if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content, and once you do all that, private message me on Gab. And let me know your Discord chat name, because that's where the True Capitalist Radio chat room is in Discord. Give me your Discord chat name, and I will give you a private invitation in the private message. I will send you a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room on Gab. It is that damn simple. And since we're already here, let's go ahead and say what's going on to the people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room right now. We got Aesthetic. What's going on to Aquilian? We've got Billy Cossack in the house. Bro Dog. What's going on to Capitalist America? What's going on to Curly McWhirly? Death to Bureaucrats. Hans Uberlander. We got Herb Capitalist. Holden Capitalist. Insane Energy. We got Jingo Bert in the house. Man Bear Pig. Metaform. We've got Nat in the place. What's going on to Norm McDonald? We got Pepe the Frog. Reverend Ralph. Stagio in the place. What's going on to the True Capitalist Radio chat room? Thank you guys for chilling with me. I very much appreciate it. And, by the way, folks, once again, I want to thank everybody who is throwing something into the cryptocurrency wishing well, okay? Once again, everybody who is listening, if you appreciate this content, by all means, throw something into the cryptocurrency wishing well. And if you throw anything over $25, once again, I'll send you some freaking production notes, okay? All right, as an appreciation of those throwing into the cryptocurrency wishing well. Remember, I don't make money on this broadcast anymore. Hence why I'm getting the hell out of here if there happens to be a blue wave this November in 2018. I don't make dick off this broadcast anymore. So if you do appreciate it, you know, and if there is enough people that are throwing stuff into the cryptocurrency wishing well, maybe even if there is a blue wave, maybe I'll stick around, but it's only few and far between, baby. It's only few and far between people that are out there that appreciate the broadcast. And to every one of those of you that have contributed out there, I appreciate it, man, because they've been trying to ban me. They have banned me. They've banned me from social media outlets, from transaction companies, etc. So this is what happens when you're a capitalist right-wing broadcaster, man. This is it. This is what happens when you're pro-America. This is what happens. So once again, go to ghost.report, click on the tab that says cryptocurrency wishing well, and throw something in the cryptocurrency wishing well, and all of your dreams will come true. And if you do throw more than 25 USD in the cryptocurrency wishing well, send me a message, whether it's on ghost.report, on Gab, on the True Capitalist Radio chat room, wherever, and just show me the transaction that shows that, hey, I paid you 25 USD, baby. Give me some production notes. So, once again, I appreciate all those that have contributed, man. Thank you very much, because, man, I'm telling you, it's pretty bad, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just doing this. It's not even a hobby anymore. It's like, you know, it's just because, well, I guess it is a hobby, right? Hobbies cost money. They don't make money. So, yeah, I guess it is a hobby now. But, I mean, man, if I'm going to continue to do this, I want people that are listening, man. I want people that are going to go out and vote. I want people that are going to stop these fucking Democrats, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me continue going, folks, okay? We were talking about how, once again, we're here at this whole Brett Kavanaugh FBI investigation because of Jeff Flake, the senator from the nuclear waste dump of Arizona. And while Democrats and a Flake are making this FBI investigation of Brett Kavanaugh happen, what about the deputy chairman of the Democrats, Keith Smack My Bitch Up Ellison? What about that guy? You know, the deputy chairman of the Democrats, Keith Smack My Bitch Up Ellison, the guy who's running for Attorney General of Minnesota. I mean, he's calling for a, quote, state investigation for his abuse claims. How come no FBI investigation over here, huh? How come no investigation for old Keith Smack My Bitch Up Ellison? No, because he's the deputy chairman. That's why, of the Democratic Party. You don't hear Democrats calling for Ellison to step down. You don't hear Democrats calling for Ellison to withdraw his name from being a candidate of Attorney General. This guy's going to be he's running for Attorney General of Minnesota. And this man has been accused of abusing his girlfriend by the girlfriend herself and her son. And yet, I don't hear nothing from the Democrats as it relates to this. I don't hear nothing from the Democrats as it relates to Cory Booker admitting that he sexually assaulted some woman when he was 15 years old during the New Year's Eve of 1984. But it just goes to show you, folks, that these Democrats don't care about rape. They don't care about taking care of somebody or protecting America. They don't care. They don't care. Give me a goddamn break. And look at this, Jack Prosobic. I can't believe I'm reading one of his tweets. He just basically said, Democrats are now claiming Keith Ellison has been cleared because there's no evidence against him in the allegation, even though it's her word against his, just like it was with Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh. So once again, Democrats are now claiming Keith Ellison has been cleared because there's no evidence against him, even though they have two witnesses. The person who alleged the actual abuse against Keith Ellison and her son. Where's the evidence on Kavanaugh, folks? I mean, we should be demanding an FBI investigation on Keith Ellison. As a matter of fact, where's the FBI on Dianne Feinstein and her having a Chinese spy as her office manager and her driver? How come Dianne Feinstein is not in prison right now? How come Dianne Feinstein is not in prison? Because lest we forget, folks, you can look this up on Google, put Dianne Feinstein China driver, and you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? She had an office manager that also dubbed as her driver, who was a Chinese spy for years. And then when the FBI notified Dianne Feinstein, what did she do? She allowed this bastard to retire quietly so he could collect a tax-funded pension. Isn't that sweet of old Dianne Feinstein? This is what I keep telling you, man. Democrats don't care about law-abiding American citizens. They care about illegal immigrants, anti-American people, criminals, and people who want to have child sexualization. I mean, it goes without saying, man. Anyway, we're running out of time, folks. Anyway, did y'all know that today marks 1 year? 1 year of the Las Vegas mass shooting. Y'all remember that? That false flag? Now, once again, I am not saying that nobody died in this particular instance, but I'm going to tell you what exactly happened, even though everybody wants to claim that, I don't know what they're claiming. I mean, it's been 1 year and we still have no motive on why the hell this Paddock even decided to commit this so-called mass murder. Well, folks, let's just be honest on what happened, all right? And whether or not you want to believe it or not, it's up to you. Okay, first of all, before I tell you what happened, I want you all to know, and I want you all to look up how many so-called victims of this Las Vegas shooting have ended up dead. I'm not talking about ending up dead there at the mass shooting. I'm talking about ended up dead in car accidents, ended up dead while they were home alone, they just ended up dead. Look it up! Look it up! Look up how many people that were witnesses to this Las Vegas mass shooting that started talking and saying, look, I don't know if it's the way they said it went down. They ended up fucking dead. Look up that first before I start discussing what really happened in this whole Las Vegas shooting. Now, once again, I want to reiterate that the Las Vegas shooting happened in the Mandalay Bay. It happened in the Mandalay Bay, and look, they're already calling the Mandalay Bullet Buffet. Yeah, we get it, all right? Now, listen, let's be serious here, okay? Now, it happened on the top 4 floors of the Mandalay Bay. Who owned the top 4 floors? It was the Four Seasons that was owned by the Saudi Arabian billionaire Al-Walid. Now, Al-Walid owned the top 4 floors in which this episode took place. Now, why is that important? Because what happened in Vegas was an attempt at an assassination of Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman, who is now the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. Now, why did they want to kill Mohammed bin Salman? Because, folks, Mohammed bin Salman is going against what the traditional kings of old Saudi Arabia, which is Wahhabism and all this pro-jihadi type funding, it went in complete opposite of that. It went in complete opposite of that. Mohammed bin Salman is trying to make Saudi Arabia more secular and less Wahhabist, less Islamic fanaticists. Okay? Now, I'm going to, once again, I'm going to go ahead and post a video here. I'm going to post a video of Mohammed bin Salman. I'm trying to type and do things at the same time here, but I'm going to post a video of Mohammed bin Salman at the Tropicana being escorted by an extraction team. Okay? And the reason I'm going to post this is because this actually happened during the mass shooting. Now, what am I saying? Mohammed bin Salman was actually in disguise in Las Vegas at this time. And they tried to assassinate him. His own family. You know, Al-Walid, the billionaire who owned the top 4 floors of the Mandalay Bay, tried to kill his own nephew because his nephew did not oblige the Wahhabist ideals that have been the mainstay of the past couple of kingdoms. Now that the King bin Salman is allowing his son to pretty much reign roughshod, Mohammed bin Salman wants to take Saudi Arabia into a more secular direction. I mean, hence, take a look at now, Saudi Arabia and Israel are now doing military operations together. They're now combining intelligence together. That was unheard of. That was unheard of during King Abdullah and the previous king. That was unheard of. And I want to go ahead and show this video here. Let me go ahead and continue what I'm going to put here. I'm going to say Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman being extracted out of the Las Vegas mass shooting 1 year ago is what I'm going to say. Las Vegas mass shooting 1 year ago. Now, why do I say it's an extraction team? Take a look at this video that I'm about to post right now. Take a look right now on my Gab, okay? Take a look at that video right now. Now, what this is, folks, is an extraction team taking Mohammed bin Salman through the Tropicana Hotel. I just posted it right now. This was during the actual shooting, the mass shooting in Las Vegas. The man that is in the back is Mohammed bin Salman in disguise. He shaved his beard, he cut his hair and slicked it back, because remember, he's a Muslim, so he's got to be out there in disguise, and you know, he's partaking in Las Vegas sin, you know, he's partaking in it in disguise. Now, who the hell would know that Mohammed bin Salman is out there? Well, we would, the United States would, because we don't want Mohammed bin Salman being killed on our goddamn soil, first and foremost, and secondly, his own family would know he was out there. Now, if you take a look at this extraction team, the reason I'm saying it's an extraction team, they've got a gurney. They've got like something to carry the guy if he was incapacitated. You see that gurney? I mean, they were going to get Mohammed bin Salman dead or alive. Okay? Now, take a look at that. That right there is Mohammed bin Salman being extracted out of Las Vegas during the mass shooting, because he was the target. He was the target of the mass shooting. So, because he was they didn't get him. They didn't even wound him. They extracted him out before Mohammed bin Salman was even shot. That's when the people that were actually the perpetrators decided to go away. And people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room and the inner circle, we were listening to the scanners of the Las Vegas Police Department and emergency services. And they were talking about shootings that were happening at the Bellagio. They were talking about men that were trying to get away, and they were exchanging gunfire with guys in different parts of Las Vegas that has not been a part of the real narrative. Okay? We heard it. You can look back. I think you can find it on YouTube, the scanner of the actual night. You can hear many times, we got multiple shooters at the Bellagio. We've got shooters over here at the MGM. They're trying to get away. I mean, this was an actual hit squad that attempted to kill Mohammed bin Salman. They failed. So as the United States and every black operation that was involved in this, how are you going to cover something up? How are you going to cover something up like this? You have to go and kill a couple of innocent people and claim that it was a mass shooting, folks. I mean, I'm not trying to build conspiracy theories here. Why is there still no motive? No explanations? How come they can't find why Paddock did it? Who the fuck Paddock was? How come they can't find out who the fuck Paddock was, why he did it, what his motive was? They can't find anything about the guy. The guy's a patsy. I'm sure the guy's still alive. There's picture, there's video of this guy still alive with that Asian girlfriend of his playing poker somewhere in Jersey. Y'all see that shit? Look, I'm just saying, folks, 1 year later, this is the biggest mass shooting in American history, and yet no explanation on why it happened, and anyone who was there that questioned it is dead. They died in miraculous car accidents. They were conveniently suicided, conveniently heart attacked. Take a look at how many people have died that were witnesses of this shooting. All right? I'm just saying. And this was a massive cover-up so that the United States people don't know what really happened. And what really happened was an attempted assassination of a foreign leader on American soil by his own family. I mean, you can't deny it, man. All right? You can't deny it. Anyway, I'm going to continue going here. But once again, 1 year anniversary since this shooting. And look, we got some idiots saying, that doesn't look like Mohammed bin Salman. Do you even know what Mohammed bin Salman looks like without that fucking turban, you idiot? He doesn't even look the same. He looks like a goof. All right? Mohammed bin Salman looks like a goof without that fucking turban. All right? Look at him without the turban, you stupid idiot. Good God. And by the way, if that's not the explanation, then tell me what the explanation is, huh? Not even the damn authorities, when they were initially given those press conferences a day or two after the shooting, they were even changing their story. Remember that fucking security guard, Campos, that everybody has forgotten about? Remember, I think his name was Danny Campos, right? The security guard that saved the day, that went to a supposed clinic to get his wounds stitched up, even though he should have went to the hospital and been questioned, etc. You know, Danny Campos. Remember the Campos, the fucking security guard. Remember that he said, look, I'm only going to give this one interview to Ellen, and that's it, even though Ellen is paid for by the MGM, which owns the Mandalay Bay. Huh? Remember Campos? Campos didn't even look like a Mexican, man. He looked like a fucking Arab. He looked like a fucking Arab. You know that dude Campos that was the security guard that supposedly saved the day at Mandalay Bay? That guy looks exactly the same, if you want my opinion, as the guy who committed the damn massive attack, the mass shooting in San Bernardino. Okay? Now, I'm not saying it's him. I'm saying that Campos, all right? Campos was not a Mexican, all right? I live in a town that's 85% fucking Mexican, okay? I know a Mexican when I see one, boy. That guy looked like a fucking Arab. And by the way, I'm glad Jingo Bert in the chat room is very aware of this. It wasn't but not even 5 days later after this Vegas shooting in which Mohammed bin Salman did the infamous Saudi purge. And who did he put in that purge? al-Walid, the bin Laden family, and everyone else that was a Wahhabist in Saudi Arabia. And, I mean, this is not an accident. It's not an accident that the purge happened literally a week after the shooting because they were trying to kill him. That's why he purged these sons of bitches. You think he just had a hair up his ass? Fucking wake up, you morons. Jesus Christ. Anyway, you all can have your own explanation. You all can think that it was just some moron like it was some dude named Paddock, and that he just happened to have a whole arsenal of fucking weapons up there just because, and he got pissed off at the late night country music and just started shooting people, okay? That's great. Jesus Christ. And people are asking, so you're saying the gunman who busted in Paddock's room offed him or took pics and blamed him? I don't think it was I think it was a staged event. Those fucking pictures don't even look real. It looks like a staged event. I don't even think Paddock is dead, if you want my opinion. I don't even think Paddock is dead. But of course, we don't know anything because look at the mystery around all this mass shooting, man. There is no explanation on why Paddock, if we're going to believe Paddock did it, there's not even an explanation on why he did it. There's not even an explanation on why he did it. They just claim that, he just had a fucking arsenal of guns up there and was pissed because he kept hearing shit-kicking hit music until late hours of the night and started shooting people. I mean, give me a break. Wake up, man. Good God. Wasn't but a week later after this shooting, Mohammed bin Salman did the great Saudi Arabian purge. Think that's a coinkydink? I think not, okay? Let's go ahead and get to some goddamn international news before it gets too late around here. Since we're talking about the Middle East, let's talk a little bit about Iran, huh? Now, Iran has responded to the attack that it had on its military parade 2 weeks ago, I should say, by launching 6 mid-range Iranian missiles which had to clear Iraq airspace to hit targets in eastern Syria. Then, after the 6 mid-range missiles that hit eastern Syria, it was followed by 7 unmanned drones that dropped bombs on the same target. Now, of course, Iran is trying to say that this was in retaliation to the attack on its military parade. And Iran has also said that the target in eastern Syria was a ISIS base that is being supported by the United States of America. What did I tell you, folks, about ISIS and the United States? What did I tell you? I said that ISIS is our black operation creation. And instead of the ISIS black operation being used against the United States and its bases and whatever, it's being used on our foes now. And like I said, Iran is not stupid. Iran knows that the United States created ISIS. We created Al-Qaeda. They're not naive to that. That's why you have Iran hitting up a major so-called ISIS base in eastern Syria with 6 mid-range Iranian missiles and 7 unmanned drones. And Iran claims it hit an ISIS base that was supported by the United States. Now, they claim that this is a direct response for the attacks. And on the missiles, I don't know if you saw this, before they launched the missiles, they actually showed some, I guess, Arabic writing or Persian writing, whatever the fuck they use in Iran, that stated, death to America, death to Israel, and death to Saudi Arabia. Death to Saudi, I mean, they know what's going on. That's why I keep telling you folks that listen to this broadcast that ISIS is not going to hit the United States interests or United States people anymore. It is going to hit the United States foes. And as I said that, Iran got hit up in this military parade. They were trying to show off their missiles and show off their military might, and they got hit up in their own country during a military parade. Now, obviously, folks, this is political posturing by Iran, who reiterated in a statement that attacks on our homeland is a, quote, red line that we will not back down from. And, of course, they went on to say that this is a direct message to U.S., Israel, and Saudi Arabia, all who have a military presence in the eastern Syria or Syria itself. So we shall see what this truly means. I mean, if Iran was really serious, if they thought that the United States or Saudi Arabia or Israel were the culprits, why didn't they go after a true interest of Saudi Arabia, Israel, or the United States? Because they're scared shitless, folks. I'm telling you, Iran is scared shitless. They never thought that they'd be hit up in their own home country, let alone during their own military parade. Unless we forget that the city in which the military parade was being held in is their largest oil field. So it's a double whammy. It shows Iran that not only can we get into your country and shoot up your goddamn military parade, we have also infiltrated your largest oil field. So if you decide, like we announced, last week, in which the UK, France, Germany, the EU, Russia, and China plan to develop a new payment system so they can continue to trade oil with Iran, they're going to find themselves in a big pickle, because obviously if there's terrorists within the city that hit up that military parade, there's obviously more. And they're going to hit up those goddamn oil fields so that Iran cannot sustain itself amidst this economic turmoil that it's finding itself in. There's major economic turmoil in Iran, and that's why they're scared. And if Iran was smart, if you want my opinion, they would sit down with Donald Trump, but they think that they're badasses. They think that they can be defiant. They can't, folks. That's why I'm telling you, they are ripe for regime change. And I hope that somebody does it, because we don't need Iran around anymore. I mean, we should have went in and aided the 2009 revolution. I was the only one in any media outlet ever that was trying to scream and say, somebody do something for those that are rising up in Iran in 2009. You can look back in the old fucking archive if you don't believe me. But nobody did a goddamn thing. Obama stayed quiet, allowed Iran to suppress the uprising of 2009. Not only did Iran kill the protesters, they went and killed their families as well. And we just allowed it to happen. Now, thanks, Obama. And lest we forget, some years later came the Arab Spring. Remember the Arab Spring? And we just, as far as Obama's foreign policy, we embraced the Arab Spring. I mean, lest we forget that Obama actually sent money to the Muslim Brotherhood once they took control of Egypt. Thank God General Sisi took control of the government and executed the Muslim Brotherhood, because they're a bunch of sick, twisted Islamic jihadist Yehudis. Thank God. But once again, we shall see if Iran is really serious about flexing nuts, you know? Okay, great. They hit an ISIS base. Big deal. All right, if you really want war, why don't you hit something up that's Saudi Arabia based? And don't send the Houthis to do it either. Fucking pussy-ass Iranians are using the Houthis in Yemen, which got nothing to lose and got more goddamn balls than sense, to launch rockets into Riyadh and other parts of Saudi Arabia. Why don't you do it, Iran? Why don't you do it? Fucking pussy. Why don't you do it? Why don't you go hit up Israel? You don't, because you know you get your fucking clock cleaned, you fucking punk. Anyway, let me move on, folks. Now, aside from our foreign policy in the Middle East, and I have talked about it ever since 2017, remember I said that the new foreign policy of Donald Trump's administration was to pit Saudi Arabia against Iran, and take a look at how that has flourished, huh? Prognosticator strikes again. And, oh yeah, by the way, let's talk about our Asian foreign policy. Did you hear the president this morning in that press conference stating that, hey, look, China now wants to come and make a deal, but I don't want to make a deal. It's not right for a deal. because they don't understand they've been ripping us off for so long, and they think that we're just supposed to take it. I am glad that the president has taken such an obstinate stance against China at this point in time. Because take a look at China today, folks. I mean, we've been talking about how they've made a deal with the Whore of Babylon. You know, the Catholic Church. Yeah, the Catholic Church can now promote Catholicism in China. And it's like making a deal with the fucking devil. And meanwhile, you've got China rounding up the Muslim minority, the Uyghurs. You have them destroying Christian, and believe it or not, they're massively going after Christian churches, people who worship Christianity. A massive goddamn Christian crackdown in China. And the president sees this, and that's why the president says, look, the Chinese ain't ready to deal. These goddamn Chinese ain't ready to deal. The deal ain't ready yet. And thank God, because the United States, especially under Donald Trump, knows that our biggest foe is China. China has been ripping us off. China has been ripping us off in more ways than one, folks. And not to mention, they've had our government in their pockets since Bill Clinton. I mean, did we forget that Bill Clinton actually rented out the Lincoln bedroom in the White House to Chinese billionaires so he could raise money for his campaign, and all the litigation involving his rapes and his sexual abuse? I mean, do we forget that? Look it up! Look up Chinese billionaires Lincoln bedroom Clinton, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, Bill Clinton, during his presidency, was leasing out the fucking Lincoln bedroom so he could put money in his pocket. And you mean to tell me that China doesn't have influence over the Democratic Party? You, once again, had a Chinese spy integrated as a office manager and a driver of Dianne Feinstein. Take a look at all the speeches that Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation have conducted with China. China has had our government in their pocket for too long. And now they find themselves with a real American hero in Donald Trump as president. And he's not going to capitulate, man. He's not going to bow down to China. I mean, just because we had a bunch of pussy-whipped, goddamn anti-American leftists that were a part of our country that allowed China to advance themselves economically and militarily, because lest we forget that Bill Clinton allowed the Chinese to just take our nuclear secrets and our aerospace secrets. I mean, if y'all don't believe me, Google up this. Google up Bill Clinton, Los Alamos spy. Okay? Los Alamos, of course, is the nuclear facility in which we're conducting all these nuclear tests and new nuclear technology and aerospace and all this other bullshit. That's why China is such a formidable foe with all this new aerospace technology and all this nuclear weaponry, because Bill Clinton gave it to them. And I'm telling you what to look up. I'm telling you what to look up. So all of you people that are claiming that I'm not telling the truth and that I'm fake news, look it up for your fucking self. Look it up. Fucking Bill Clinton allowed Chinese spies to be in Los Alamos to basically take our nuclear and aerospace technology. Look it up. Look, people in the look at the True Capitalist Radio chat room, they're looking up. Look at this is CNN from 1997. Clinton rents out the Lincoln bedroom to Chinese billionaires. Even CNN had to report it, huh? That's why I'm telling you, folks, this is why the president now, Donald Trump, is taking such a hard line against these goddamn Chinese. And I thank God that he is. Because now China's finding itself in a little bit of a pickle. Because lest we forget, we have a deficit on a trade basis, on an annual trade basis of $600 billion. We've got a $600 billion deficit on an annual basis with China. And look, now that we're playing hardball with these tariffs, and now we're even hitting them up with sanctions now China's in a precarious situation where their economy could collapse. This is why Xi Jinping is consolidating power. That's why Xi Jinping has the power of Mao Zedong in China today, because he knows that this house of cards of an economy that China has been putting up as something to aspire to is bullshit. It's a house of cards that's about to come crumbling down. It's about to come crumbling down. And that's why the president is playing hardball with these fucking Chinese, man. I love it. I love that the president is just playing hardball with these Chinese and blindfolding them with economic dental floss, baby. I'm telling you, man. And look, hey, they're even finding a New York Times article that was written in 1999. Look at this. Breach at Los Alamos. Special report. China stole nuclear secrets for bombs. And how do you think that a Chinese spy got into the Los Alamos facility? The Clintons! Do you understand that? The Clintons! So why am I bringing up China? Well, Secretary of Defense James Mad Dog Mattis canceled his trip to China as the trade wars fucking deepen in tension with the United States and China. This after... And this is what happened here, this weekend. This after a Chinese warship came within 45 yards of the USS Decatur in the South China Sea. And moreover, folks, there are more and more activity happening on the artificial island that was created by China in the South China Sea. They're getting more belligerent. They're getting more warlike. So tensions are really running deep. And I'm telling you right now, if China wants a military Cold War or if they want a conventional war, I think the president is ready. I mean, this is why the president continuously funds the military. I mean, this past spending bill, what was it, another $700 billion for the military? I mean, that's almost $2 trillion up to this point, exclusively for defense. Why are we building up our military? Just in case China wants to flex nuts. Do you understand? Just in case China wants to flex nuts over here. And look, we shouldn't be afraid of the Chinese. I mean, let's be honest, man. The Chinese have been bitched around throughout their entire history. And the only reason that Mao Zedong was able to take control of China was because he was at the right place at the right time. At the time, Chiang Kai-shek had taken over mainland China, and he, being a Chinese nationalist that was trying to rebuild his country, allowed capitalists to come into the country and build the railroads, build the factories, etc. Then World War II happened, and when World War II happened, countries decided to have this imperialist hair up their ass, like Japan, and Japan invaded China. And when Japan invaded China, Chiang Kai-shek's troops had to fight the Japanese. And while Chiang Kai-shek's troops and the Japanese were fighting, you had the communists that were being ran by Mao Zedong flanking both of these sons of bitches. And that's the only way that Mao Zedong was able to take control of China. And other than that, folks, China has been a paper tiger throughout history. Why do you think they built a Great Wall? Because they were afraid of that side of the world. They didn't want that side of the world ruining its Confucius-based society. And I'm telling you right now, it's not just the United States that they're going to have to worry about. China's got to worry about their neighbors that don't particularly like China either. Obviously, India, who's been trying to poke the eye of China for the past couple of years, several years at this point, and China just kind of pacifies them and ignores them. You've got Pakistan, which is now trying to say the hell with China with their investments because they feel that China's trying to put them into a deficit situation that Pakistan doesn't appreciate, considering that during historic times of crisis, Pakistan and China typically gravitate towards each other. So Pakistan is starting to have a little bit of tensions with China. And lest we forget, both India and Pakistan are nuclear powers. We've got Japan that's not very happy with China. As a matter of fact, I think Japan is salivating at the mouth to go and pay back China for a bunch, not just World War II, a couple of different wars. I mean, you've got Vietnam that's hating China right now because China thinks that it owns the South China Sea, and I believe it's one of the countries that border the South China Sea. So by China having this artificial island in the middle of the South China Sea jeopardizes the integrity of the coasts of those that are bordering the South China Sea. So anyway, let's continue going. We got, once again, Secretary of State James Mattis canceling his trip to China as trade war tensions deepen, baby. This after a Chinese warship once again came in within 45 days, or excuse me, 45 yards, not 45 days. It came in between 45 yards of the USS Decatur, and I'm telling you, man, we're ready. We're ready for war. I'm ready for a nice, good war. If China wants some, come and get some, you fucking dumb pieces of crap. All right? We're not afraid of you. And as a matter of fact, what has China ever produced? China's not like Japan. Japan is an innovator. They're engineers. They create shit. You know? What does China do? It takes what other people have created, copying it and making it their own. That's all China's good for. It's not a producer of any kind. So what, we're supposed to be afraid of a bunch of copycats? Get the fuck out of here, all right? Bring it on, China. Bring it on. And look, I know China and Russia right now are getting all buddy-buddy, but they hate each other. They weren't even friends when they were both communists back when Khrushchev was fucking in power, for Christ's sake. Khrushchev thought that Mao Zedong was nuts. And why did he think that? Well, after, just a side note here, after the United States dropped the atomic bomb on Japan's Nagasaki and Hiroshima, Mao Zedong came out publicly daring the United States to send an A-bomb to China. I'm not kidding. Mao Zedong urged and begged the United States, you come on, motherfucker. You send the bomb over here. You come to China. I dare you. I dare you. You send the atomic bomb over here to China. And Khrushchev thought this guy was insane. Are you kidding me? And why would Mao Zedong ask the United States to send the bomb? Because he's a sick maniac. Mao Zedong looked at it like this, like a true communist. I mean, he thought of it like a true communist. He figured, hey, if the United States sends the atomic bomb to China, all right, it sends the atomic bomb to China and kills, what, 100 million people? 200 million people? It would actually help Mao Zedong take better control of the country, because 1 or 200 million people is but a minor statistic to 1 billion people. So that's why Mao Zedong was like, come on, motherfucker, you send the bomb, motherfucker! Of course, we didn't. But that's how sick of a maniac Mao Zedong was, because he wanted to get rid of a good chunk of his people. You know? He wanted to give a good chunk to his people. Like 200, 300 million minus 1 billion. That's what he wanted. That's why Mao Zedong was begging for the bomb. Anyway, we shall see what happens with China, but I'm ready for these bastards. Bring it on, you goddamn egg roll eating idiots, all right? Bring it on! Freaking tainted tuna taco smelling pansexual Peter Puffers. Bring it on! Anyway, last but not least, folks, I want to talk a little bit about Germany. Now, Germany, believe it or not, is now cracking down on, quote, far right-wing extremists. Have you heard about this, folks? If you happen to be against Angela Merkel, that's right, I am Angela Merkel, and I will crack down on all of the right-wing extremist groups. You skinhead hooligan bastards, I am Angela Merkel, you can't stop me. You can't stop me, I am Angela Merkel. Well, Germany is cracking down on its far right-wing extremists. This Monday, seven arrests of men ages from 20 to 30 from a far right-wing group called Revolution Chemnitz. And Chemnitz, of course, I believe is a city in Germany. But this is what I keep reiterating to you American people. In Europe, especially the European Union, in the UK, you can't talk against the government there or you're going to get arrested or you're going to get a visit by the police. You can't express your own independent political idea without potentially putting yourself into some kind of situation with the authorities. And this is why I'm telling each and every one of you that are listening to the sound of my voice, this is why the 2018 midterm elections are so goddamn important. Because if these leftists win the 2018 election, folks, we are headed down the direction as Europe. I mean, ask every Democrat, what do you want America to look like? Just ask them. Ask every Democrat, what is it that you want America to look like? And they're going to say, well, we should look like Europe. They're all going to say it. And Europe, folks, is a shithole. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you don't believe me, why don't you take a look at the streets of Paris today? And take a look at all the Somalians and the refugees that are tents. They have tents on the fucking streets. Take a look at it. YouTube it up. The streets of Paris. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Why don't you take a look at what's going on in Germany? How the German people are now being overcome with Judaism to the point where now they're trying to stop German people from walking their own dogs in parks. Because for whatever reason, goddamn Arab Muslims, they hate dogs for some reason. I don't know what the hell that's about. Kebab shops on every fucking corner. And you know that the kebab shops, according to many in Europe, are a method of child trafficking. You know, they get the disenchanted youth of Germany or the UK. I mean, this is very well documented. You can look this up. That these kebab shops are trying to lure these, you know, single parent, parentless type kids and trying to put them into child trafficking. I mean, that's what, hey, let's be honest. It was the Arabs that invented slavery, folks. It was the Arabs that invented slavery. I know that these leftists like to claim that Whitey over here, like, you know, slavery was invented because of because of Europeans, excuse me. But lest we forget that, yeah, there was an element of having to pay your dues in English society, but it wasn't slavery. It was indentured servitude. English didn't believe in slavery. As a matter of fact, most of Europe didn't believe in slavery until it was introduced to them by who? By the Arab traders and the northern Africans themselves. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, it was the Arabs that created the slave trade. I know it's hard for people to believe, but lest we forget, they were the closest ones to North Africa. And the African tribes, whether you want to admit it or not, had no natural resources to trade, so they had to trade their own human beings as a means of trading for guns and medicine and all the other things that the Europeans and the Arabs had, spices and whatnot. So anyway, once again, folks, even though you have an attempt at an opposition in Germany, they are now trying to crack down on that opposition. And that's why I'm telling each and every one of you American people, you should feel lucky that we can still express our political idealism, that we can still express what we want. We have the freedom of speech without the threat of authorities coming over to your house, arresting you for what you're saying, what you're posting on the internet. That's why I'm telling each and every one of you that are American citizens to take this shit serious. This is the last country where the people choose who rules them. And what are the Democrats trying to do? They're trying to stop that. They're trying to stop it, and we can't allow them to do it. Look, we have a major responsibility as a government made for the people and by the people. But if the people fall asleep at the wheel, folks, we are going to see what has been happening to America for the past 25 years continue to happen unless we continue to be as politically awake as we are and as politically active as we were in 2016. We have to be as politically active as we were in 2016. We've got a month away. We cannot allow these Democrats to win in a blue wave. Everything that we fought for in 2016 will be flushed down the toilet. You know as well as I, if we see a blue wave in 2018, the first thing they're going to do is try to impeach Donald Trump. And that's going to tear the country apart even more than this politicization of rape that's being instigated by the Democrats. So I am imploring you all, please, go out there and spread the word about this broadcast. Spread the word about capitalism and right-wing politics. Spread the word that you have to go out and vote in 2018 for Republicans. Because if you don't, we're going to see the madness that is the Democrats of modern-day America. We're going to see the lunacy of liberalism in this country. And I don't want to see it, folks, because I'm telling you, you think it's bad now, you wait until these damn Democrats are elected, and they're trying to resist even more by trying to impeach our president. And like the president said, if there is an impeachment, he will deal with it, he said. But if he does get impeached, it's your fucking fault! It's your fucking fault because you didn't go out there and vote! You didn't go out there and tell other people to vote! You didn't go out there and articulate the hypocrisy and the contradictions within the Democrats. It's your fucking fault if Trump gets impeached by these soulless, heartless Democrats. It's your fault, folks. It's your goddamn fault. And let me tell you something, man. We are having leftism raise all over the place. And I know that I'm broadcasted all over the world. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, know that capitalism is the only way that social organization will equally distribute opportunity for all. That's what we want as regular people. We want opportunity. We want the opportunity to get out of whatever class strata that we're in today. We want the opportunity to make as much money as we can, to sell our labor for as much as we can, to obtain as much as we can. We want the economic freedom to do so. And that's not just us in America. I'm looking right now. I'm seeing people that are listening to me right now from Brazil. And let me tell you, you people in Brazil, God bless you and kill those fucking communists out there in Brazil. Go start slicing their throats in Brazil because they're doing it to you. Look at what they did to your right-wing presidential candidate. They stabbed the man. They stabbed the man. I'm seeing people in Australia. You need to stop that leftist insurgency that's trying to raise its ugly head in Australia. I see people in Canada. Justin Trudeau. Need I say more? You need to stop that, for Christ's sake. You need to stop it, and you need to cut it off at the past. I'm telling you, folks. And I'm looking at all the countries that are listening in. If you are under the threat of communism, then it's maybe time for you or your crew, your group, your friends, anybody to start rising up. Because silence is consent. And if you stay silent during the uprising of communism, then you, by default, are accepting communism. You, by default, are accepting socialism. So I don't care where you are across the world. It's better to die on your feet than serve on your knees. I'm calling on everybody out there in the international community, man. Find it within yourself to fight. Fight this fucking evil specter that is infecting our world that's called leftism. This godless, soulless idea of communism and socialism. It must be stopped, and the only people that can stop it are those that have the testicular fortitude to rise up and say, hey, we're going to stop this fucking communist and socialist crap. Because if we don't, then nobody is. Because if nobody is brave enough to stand up, then nothing will happen. If nobody's brave enough to stand up, you won't inspire anybody to stand up. By God, I hope everybody's listening. Because I'll be damned if this fucking world succumbs to communism. I'll be goddamn if this world succumbs to communism. Anyway, folks, that is it. We are now pretty much at the end of the broadcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Whether you're listening to me live or in the archive, I really appreciate you listening to my broadcast. Once again, spread this fucking broadcast throughout the internets and throughout the world. Once again, the website, type it in your browser right now, ghost.report. Ghost.report is the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, if you want to listen to a live show, I am live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Once again, at ghost.report. That's all you got to type in your browser. Add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites. And once again, folks, this is a word-of-mouth broadcast. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are listening to the underground. The political underground of the internet, folks. Anyway, folks, I am going to be in the True Capitalist Radio chat room here in about 25 minutes. If you want to come kick it with us, well, then all you got to do is go to my Gab right now. And if you don't have a Gab account, well, then get yourself one, all right? All right? Get yourself a Gab account, all right? And follow me on Politics Ghost is the name, all right? Follow me, Politics Ghost, all one word, no underscores, Politics Ghost. And click the subscribe button for premium content, all right? Click the subscribe button for premium content. Once you do that, go ahead and private message me on Gab and let me know your Discord chat name, and I will send you in the same private message a private invitation to the True Capitalist Radio chat room. It's that damn simple, all right? So everybody in the chat room, I'll be in there in about 25 minutes. We'll be kicking back, chilling, you know, all that good stuff. And for those of you that are listening, come on down if you want to be a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, all right? One more again, folks, one more again. I want to remind everybody, if you do appreciate the content that is being broadcasted on this broadcast, then please go to ghost.report and click the cryptocurrency wishing well tab. And throw something into the cryptocurrency wishing well, folks, all right? Throw something in the cryptocurrency wishing well, and if you happen to throw in more than 25 USD in crypto into the cryptocurrency wishing well, I'll give you and send you some fucking handwritten production notes, all right? Because once again, they have banned me from every social media oligarch, from every transaction company, all because I'm a capitalist. All because I'm a capitalist. So once again, folks, please go ahead, if you appreciate the broadcast, support the broadcast by checking out the cryptocurrency wishing well and hooking it up, all right? Anyway, folks, I am out of here. I will be back Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas Time. Ghost.report is the home, so you better be here, all right? Make sure you tell everybody you know fucking about this show across the internets and throughout the world, because this show is serious business, all right? And once again, if you want some merch, no, I forgot about the merch site. Don't forget, we got a merchandise site, folks, ghost.market. That's what you type in your browser, add to your bookmarks, add to your favorites, ghost.market. Just wanted to let everybody know the 411, we've got merch going on, so just letting y'all know. Anyway, I am out of here. I will be back Wednesday, and I hope to see you here chilling with me live on the broadcast. Anyway, I am out of here. Long live the capitalist army, and death to feminism, death to socialism, and death to communism. I hope to see you here Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Texas U.S. time at ghost.report, baby. I am out of here. I will see you then. Woo!